Hello, everyone. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to present to you today Solana Pay for WordPress and WooCommerce. Before I start, as the first presenter, let me use this opportunity to thank the organizers for this wonderful event. You guys are awesome. You did a very good job. Thanks a lot. And yeah, so let me talk about myself. I'm Temitope Akinbosoye. I'm a software consultant. I founded my business few months before Corona. So, and yeah, I use T for Top as my username on Discord and on social media. So I use it for everywhere. And the NFT there is the first NFT I bought on Solana. So it's Cyber Samurai, and I use it sometimes as my avatar. All right. So to set the stage, I'm sure many of us here know about WordPress. But just to ask, WooCommerce, how many of us know about WooCommerce? Just please raise up your hands if you know about WooCommerce. Yeah, some of us. So, yeah, WordPress, as we all know, is the world's largest CMS and most popular website builder. And it powers over 43% of all websites on the internet. On the other hand, WooCommerce is the largest e-commerce platform for WordPress, and it has over 5 million active installations. So if Solana Pay can be integrated to WooCommerce, that will bring lots of people potential adoption for Solana and for Solana Pay. So that's one of the reasons why I'm working on this project. Another second reason is this. This is the website of Solana Pay documentation. And as you can see there, WooCommerce is actually mentioned as the first e-commerce platform that they want to integrate with. So it's also, this is the second reason why I'm working on it. And what did I build? I built this. These are the screenshots. The one on the left is on smartphone. It works on smartphone too. And the one on the right is on desktop. So they look alike, and it works everywhere. It supports all different resolutions of display. It automatically adjusts. So I'm going to do live demo. So let's go for it. So this is the website built for it. It's you can pay with USDC or Solana or Sol at checkout. It's a shop you can look through. There are so many things there. So let's go shopping. So, yeah, I think we have internet. Yeah, let's see. Yes. Okay. There is no internet here.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me either.
Also. It's not working?
No.
Internet is down, okay?
Give it 1 second.
All right, I'm going to connect to my hotspot. Okay. Hotspot. Okay, it seems the internet is down here. Oh.
The demo day gods are not with us right now, but it's okay. We'll persevere.
Right. So I'm going to... Okay, it's connected. So now I will use my hotspot.
We're back.
You are back?
We're back.
Okay, but I will probably continue with my hotspot. So I go shopping, and now you can see so many things. Let's say I like this first one. I can select, and I add it to my cart. I can view my cart. So this is just a normal shop, like online shop. It's powered by WordPress and WooCommerce. So I go to checkout, and if you scroll down, you see Solana Pay, pay with Solana Pay. So here you will see I use this email. I currently make it a temporary email, and like if any email comes in, you're going to see it. So I pay with Solana Pay, and as you can see, what I'm buying is $9.99 USDC, and the equivalent amount in Sol is also displayed. This is using the CoinGecko API, and I have the possibility to pay either with connecting to my browser wallet or using QR code. Let me first try with my browser wallet. So I can connect. Oh. So easy password for now. I connect. And as you can see, it's going to trigger the transaction. It's $9.99. I approve it. And there it goes. Like, yeah, it's working. And order received. So, and you can see here, payment method is Solana Pay. And if I go to my email, you now see here, I got like an email coming in, which also shows me my order. Thank you for paying with Solana Pay. And it's $9.99 that I got, and it's also paid for by Solana Pay. Let me show you also demo to you paying with QR code.
1 minute left.
1 minute left. Oh, that's interesting. So, so add to cart, view cart, and so I can proceed to checkout just like before, and I pay. Now we can trigger this. So I can scan this. I can scan from there. Anyone can also scan. Well, I scan it from here. I see, and I'm also going to pay. And you see, it's order received. So, yeah. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, the backend is WordPress, and the source code is totally open source. It's here on GitHub. Anybody can use. And if you guys are also interested, you can also check it out by yourself. This is the website. It's live. Try it out. Try Solana Pay. Everything, of course, there's no shipment. It's all demo. It's using DevNet for now. But in future, there's plan to release it officially. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. So maybe as long as I'm waiting here, standing for my technology to do what it should do, maybe let me introduce to you the idea of Fishnet. Fishnet stands for Financial Signal Hosting Network, and it is a specialized computer over data network for time series data. Now, what does this mean? The idea is that all data that you want to monetize is so valuable and it can be so easily stolen from you that you don't want to really trust it with anyone. So basically, the idea is to provide a decentralized and neutral platform which will not have the possibility that anyone participating in this network and providing infrastructure in this network will be able to at some point decode all of your data. How do we do this? The whole system works by slicing the time series data into several shards. These shards are distributed by the time interval or time window that this data set is, has data points in. So each node in the network effectively will receive all the data sets, their data in a certain time window that it is assigned. And this way we can do massive parallelized computation over time series data across many different data sources and data sets, allowing for use cases such as multivariate time series forecasting for finance, agriculture, governance, you name it. Technical difficulties. Yeah, I need to put in my password, which is like pretty long. Security. Okay. We've been building for at least, I think, well, a few months now, but really picked up steam during the Grizzlython. I've been working at PayLeaf for over a year now. PayLeaf is a company for which launched 2020 a network for decentralized compute and storage. And we use their decentralized infrastructure to actually host all the data and the computations necessary for Fishnet. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to launch multiple Python programs, which are usually deployed as virtual machines in the Aleph network. One of them is an API, the other one is an executor. The API is something like the smart contract of Fishnet. It has all the checks and balances necessary to make sure that no unauthorized access to some data set is granted. And at the same time, signs messages to the Aleph messaging bus, which is something like a public ledger, that persists all the state of permissions and metadata about data sets. So using this signature, we can make sure that nobody can tamper with the state besides the API. Now I need to mirror. Something? Oh yeah. Okay. Launching one. API is being launched right now.
You are not presenting on there.
I know. It's just the technical stuff. I'm going to put the... Okay, this is the browser. We got this going. There's multiple components to it. So we created a front end for Grizzlython, which you will see in a minute. And this front end is basically like the management console of Fishnet. It allows you to upload datasets, to modify and annotate datasets, give it names, to upload algorithms. Because it is a compute over data network, we must allow datasets, or basically datasets to be accessed only with certain algorithms. And starting. Okay. I'm launching the listener. It's also on executor. All right. There we are. So I'm going to log in with my wallet now. And what you can see is a tabular display of all the datasets available right now through Fishnet. We have been working with some datasets. We have been uploading them as CSV files, which you can do like this. It was processed, and now we have the possibility to give it a name. And an optional description. But I'm going to save this for now. So right now, the data is only processed in the client. So right now, it's not yet anywhere on the network. We want to give the data owners maximum control and security and trust over what we are doing with their data. So unless we are pushing the publish button, nothing will happen. So, seems actually, okay, didn't connect. Well, this is weird. Anyways, we have already some datasets here. So what we're going to do next is we want to run an execution on a dataset. For example, we are using this one here right now, and we see this dialog pop up. We can now select an algorithm to be executed upon it, and this can be any dataset because we have full access over this one, as we have previously bought it with Brick Protocol. An interesting thing is that because Aleph can take on signatures from either your Solana wallet or Ethereum wallet, it is multi-chain. So whatever you want to use, you can do it. But we have been working on a monetization platform called Brick Protocol, which Ricardo is going to show later on. Shout out to him. And it allowed us to basically make a Solana transaction that buys us a dataset access, which is basically inserted into the Aleph messaging system as soon as the transaction appears on chain. I think that's about it, because the network isn't working for some reason right now.
It's down again.
Yeah,
Yes.
seems like it. I'm really sorry about this, guys. We have posted a video which contains a fully functioning demo. If you're really interested in this, if you have any questions, please come forward. I know it's a complex topic, but there are no stupid questions, and I would love to answer some. Thank you for your attention.
Hi everyone, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Matteo, and we are here presenting to you Quadrato for the hackathon.
My name is Sarah. I am responsible for marketing of Quadrato, and Matteo is responsible for the technological part.
Quadrato is our proposal for the Solana NFT standards. We are proposing a protocol for democratizing NFT standards, and Sarah is going to talk about the problem.
So yeah, the problem we have today, I'm going to take this. So the problem we have today is that NFTs, as you know, still exist in the Web 2 world. So currently most digital assets rely heavily on technologies that require centralized infrastructure, centralized communication tools such as Twitter, centralized data centers such as Amazon Web Services and other data centers. So as a result, the vast majority of them actually fall short in their attempt to provide a trustless, decentralized environment. The second issue we face in this space is that a lot of NFT projects have a very short life. So a significant percentage of projects that launch an NFT collection did not really survive long enough to provide the promised services. While many were able to generate initial engagement, they lacked efficient tools to keep track of user feedback, just as one of the aspects. The third aspect is that there's a lack of shared resources. The current NFT standards across different blockchains lack composability, making it difficult for tools to build on top of each other easily and to integrate with each other. Furthermore, the existing protocols lack scalability to really accommodate and make space for new features that are required by the community.
Thank you. Okay, so our solution is this. We are bringing a solution that generalizes metadata architecture, allowing anybody to come up with new structures over metadata. Authorizations on metadata will be defined also on 3 different layers, which will apply on creation, modification, and deletion of the metadata. About composability, we are going to allow anybody on the blockchain, including smart contracts, to get access to those structures data in a very reliable way, and to allow every single project to be able to interoperate with each other. This is the architecture behind. If you're familiar with object-oriented programming, this is basically it applied on blockchain. We have extensions, which can be also called interfaces, where you define structures. We have the metadata itself, where you can implement those structures defined on extensions. And on the root, it's just a way to define authorizations over the metadata for the user. Of course, a Solana token is required. SPL tokens as usual. The protocol will also apply to the SPL token 2022. And this is the basic idea behind the architecture. What's missing is that extensions can be created by everyone, so you can see here as many as you want. And also about metadata, you can apply any metadata that you want, an unlimited amount of them, over a single NFT. The only limit is the extensions, the amount of extensions that are created. Potential impact: making NFTs great again, drastically increasing the number of projects that add value to the space, improving discussions over standards, making it accessible to everybody to discuss over standards, and not having central authorities being the only protagonists over the discussion. Less coding, more creativity. And I think we can have the time to show you a demo video about what could these NFTs look like in our proposal. No.
This is demo, right?
This is the demo of what will be a basic implementation of the multi-layer proposal. Connecting wallet. Here you can see some NFTs that are like the one we already know. Add standards allow you to select from a community-created list of standards that you can apply over an already existing NFT. Here, for simplicity, we already added the image, but in real use cases that will be applied by product managers and project creators, and it's up to the user to decide whether to add it and implement it over its own NFT. This is the visualization of a single NFT that has 2 layers. It's basically the same thing. Layer is on visualization, standard is on the technical side. And here you can see the final result having a single NFT with different layers that specify a use case defined by the standard that were added. In this case, for a video game, for a metaverse, which was the toy, and the profile picture of the teddy bear.
Hey everyone. So my name's Stephen, or as Web3 knows me as Cap. I'm the CEO of the Boom Monsters, and what we've been able to build for the Grizzlython is our next generation Discord bot, all centered around being able to reward communities for their engagement and be able to help solve that barrier. So a little bit about the Boom Monsters first. We're a Web3 DAO, multi-chain, so we started just over a year ago on a smaller chain called Near, and we've now, in 2023, transitioned over to Solana. Since then, we've done over 100K on exchange art in our NFT auctions, and we actually won the Solana Sandstorm Hackathon earlier this year with the first iteration of the BooBot. So it was super exciting for us to be able to continue development of this and take it to that next level. And the motivation behind this is, as a DAO, we have quite a few founders and builders and people very much in the space. Me, myself, I've started a couple other NFT projects and gone through that entire cycle of how do I reward the people, how do I reward my most loyal followers and engaged community. And it's not through a token, which could be worth something. What we've then thought about is how can we do this in an equal, more distributed manner, and so that's where we came up with the BooBot. It's all centered around our Boo Point economy. So instead of getting a token, you're getting points, and you're getting rewarded these points for completing various different activities which drive the project forward. And one of the easiest ways is Twitter raids. So whenever we tweet, you can like, retweet, comment, and you can receive points for those engagements. What we've now been able to do with the Grizzlython is add a whole new layer onto that. So we have an entire chain system on Discord for bounties. So you're able to, the project's able to say, hey, I need someone to create a meme, a Twitter thread, a video, any sort of piece that they need, be able to then set that into the Discord, create a thread, get people engaging, and then rewarding them straight away with those Boo Points. Then, once you have your Boo Points, what do you do with them? Like, a point is worth nothing unless there's some value added behind it. So what we've built out are 2 main functionalities. There's an entire Discord store, so that's an open sandbox for projects to be able to put in like a Discord role for people to be able to buy, give them that unique access, or any other item that they deem to be worthwhile. And then the fun part, which I have a little surprise for everyone in a second, is raffles. So being able to allow anyone to buy a raffle ticket, so it's like one boo point is one ticket, and that can then offer the opportunity to win NFTs, whitelist spots, tokens, and what we've been able to do is build the entire front-end system on Discord, but the back-end system connects to the Solana blockchain. So you're able to come into our Discord, choose your wallet, so just type /set wallet, put your Solana wallet in. Then when you're buying a raffle ticket, if you win, you're automatically airdropped those rewards, whether it be an NFT or be a token. And so as a little surprise and how we started to launch, we took some of the winnings that we got from the Solana Sandstorm Hackathon, and we're now raffling those off. So that's 100 million Bunk is up for grabs. If you're able to quickly scan the QR code or head over to our Twitter at the Boom Monsters, and all you need to do there is this will take you to the thread. Just like that, retweet it if you're feeling kind, and then you're able to jump into the Discord, set your wallet, and then be able to purchase your first boo ticket. So it's a really simple way to be able to like reward the most engaged community, give them that ability to claim the points, build up that stack. There's a little leaderboard as well, so we get that little bit of competition between it. Technically, I'm on the top at the moment because I have 1 million because I was testing and then I accidentally got airdropped a load. So if you see that, that's why. But hopefully, you guys can jump in there and potentially win some bunk. So I like to keep it short and sweet. I think it's more about, for us, our big goal is to be able to build vibrant communities. As a DAO, we're not profit incentivized, we're community incentivized. We want to just be able to build cool shit, release it to everybody, and be able to open up that ecosystem. Our other pillars, so this is our big development pillar, which is led by myself and our CTO, Wykrai, who's an incredible developer. He's worked with Monkey DAO, Ketson Crick, and a load of other incredible projects. And that's one arm. Our other two arms, one is about art investing. So a part of our DAO, we have Art Exchange's biggest collector from last year called Rave Monkey. He leads our art curation arm along with a couple other Solana artists in our community. And we're collecting our lovely little boo gallery there. And again, in the hopes of building more vibrance, using the revenue that we're able to generate from the auctions to give back into the community. And then our last arm is a little secret, but it's all around being able to extend out that brand a little bit further, being able to create merchandise, bring people into our boo world. And so I hope you enjoyed that little short demo, and hopefully you win some bunk. Thanks for listening.
Right, I want to give you a little bit of a brief about this, but I need to get my bag open. So I brought some friends today. Yoda's with me. I always wondered, when I was younger, stories about music and why certain records are important. For Germans, and probably the rest of the world, Kraftwerk influenced Detroit techno. A drummer from Philadelphia started disco. And he made house. So my name is Robert Stanley. I'm originally a DJ from the UK, transplanted in Vienna, and living now since 2006 in Berlin. And I'm back at the start of my life, loving history. So I'm representing current Scape, and we are a virtual interactive platform. We're telling stories in a different way, and by accident we're landing in EdTech. What I did right through Corona, we had a really interesting pivot come about, talking to directors of quite interesting museums, made me rethink that we're not a B2C, we're a B2B2C. So I started thinking about what we could create. Instead of like doing another Berghain, we thought about record shops. There's a certain record shop called Sensor It doesn't exist anymore, and it lasted from 79 to 83 in Schöneberg, here in Berlin. We wanted to then think about how to rethink how you would experience it, and also then connect with artists such as Deutsche Amerikanische Freundschaft, whose record was definitely out at this time. How would they come into the Web3 space? So I thought, glasses. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Tamar. So I showed this to my son the other day, and the first thing he went, click and learn. I went, yes, buddy. So our digital products, what we're going to do, is a turntable, 3D, which acts as a key to an archive space selected by certain artists who we want to work with. Comes with lots of different ideas, lots of little features, but I only have 5 minutes. We have physical art, handmade in Berlin, also with an option to get to the archive digitally, thanks to the Trezor token we're using today, because Amazon did not arrive. The user flow from the interface will be directly for web. That's our plan. But of course, it has to be mobile too for 2023. So it starts off as a quick splash, bit of love, and then straight up you go into an artist area where you can upload whatever they would like. Then they have a master folder, which we've called here the personal folder. From the personal folder, then they have access to then create for the NFT key folder. Through that, then we have descriptions, and very easy and simple idea how an artist who's 88 could use this. From the marketplace side, you can see there's a selection of different turntables. Each will be a theme of an artist we want to work with. The second part is, again, very straightforward, gives a bit of love and like respect to the history of this record. And then you can see before buying what exactly assets are in that folder. We're not talking just music, we actually are talking every single thing an artist would have. If you're 88 years old and you've got 60 years of experience and love and passion given into your art, you can choose what you're going to use. A bit of an idea into what we're trying to make it look like. It will be reactive, as we said. So it is available for mobile as well as directly for the web. Our technology is using the APIs from Shadow Drive, Lit Protocol. This is the team. I met actually a wonderful guy named Mo. Thank you, Mo. He's my CTO. And we've got Oliver Makula over here, originally a graffiti artist, goes on to be art director working for Mercedes-Benz. We have Sarah. Where's Sarah in the house? Sarah's in the house at the back. She's the head of 3D infrastructure. Then we have Jeremy. Where's Jeremy? He's hiding. Okay, so we have Jeremy with us as well. We're giving him lots of small tasks to grow as a developer. Then we have Alberto, my long-term art compadre. He's been working with us as a Jack the Box now since 2011, I believe. Stefano's on the way. He's not here yet. He's handling a lot more of the multimedia side and trying to also expand into 3D. Our supporters are Stefan Plank, whose father actually produced Kraftwerk. So we're quite happy about having him with us. You might see his film, if you check it out. There's one from Connie Plank. And then we have Machi, who's actually a good friend of mine from Factory Berlin, and she's an archaeologist and also a historian, works a lot with EU-funded projects. And we have Tristan, who got me into this blockchain thing. This is fresh. It's our first ever NFT, pressed today, minted. Will be limited edition to 3,300. It is a long-term idea, and there will be a folder of goodies coming ready for Easter. Thank you very much. Any questions?
GM everyone. I'm Nusha, this is Vicky. And today we are going to present you what we've been working on. It's a dApp called Ohr, which means ear in German. And it's a dApp that enables people to mint audio NFTs on Solana. So you might be wondering, why sound? Why audio? Well, the thing about sound is that it has this special power to make us feel something instantly, without that we can resist it. And we've been so focused on, in the digital space, we've been so focused on the visual and forgetting the visual can be very deceiving sometimes. The thing about sound is that it's unfiltered, it's a raw expression of the moment. So we wanted, in your day-to-day life, we are constantly surrounded by many sounds, which sometimes can touch us, even though they can be very experimental and urban. So our idea was to create a space for creatives to share their perception of the world through sound. Which brings us to one of the 3 use cases, creative expression. Okay, so the second use case is about proof. So one of our teammates, she's also a dev, her name is Nisa, she's there online. She's based in Tbilisi, and yeah, she's based in Tbilisi, Georgia, and I don't know if you heard about it, but there were like huge demonstrations because the government is trying to enforce a pro-Russian law where the people are losing their right for freedom of speech and independent media. Minority groups are affected. So the people went on the streets and demonstrated, and this video went viral on social media. I just want to show you first. The sound should work. So as you can see, people are demonstrating, they're dancing on sirens of police cars. And actually this demonstration was really effective because the next day the government decided not to enforce this law. And so imagine you were there and you could capture this moment on an NFT on-chain. Our dApp allows you also to choose a location and add a timestamp, so it really can be used as an audio POAP. Our last use case is about capturing memories, and we would like to also show the demo on the same moment and bring Chris on the stage. Because, so imagine you have a really nice memory that you want to capture online and on-chain. So, for example, today. No, we're taking it audio. So, do you see? Okay, so this is our dApp. It's mobile first, obviously. So first you can connect with your wallet, and now you have 7 seconds to record. Can you move a bit? Oh, wait. Okay. Here. You have 7 seconds to record a memorable audio.
Super team! Super team! Woo! I think that worked.
Okay, so we can play. Thank you so much. We can play it. Let's see what he did.
Super team! Super team!
Amazing. So yeah, we choose to continue. So no problem with okay. Do we want to add a location? We would like to add a location, of course, because you also want to see that it was here. Then a unique visual is being created, and we add all of this to the blockchain, and then the minting can happen. Hopefully. Hello. Oh yeah. Wait a second. So actually, we had a few challenges with the minting. Like we could mint an image, but not yet all of the data is minted. We also only started 10 days ago with this project. So if there are some glass chewers that feel like helping us, please come by. And yeah, that's it. I would like to give the mic to Vicky to tell you more about our future plans.
Hello, all. Yeah, we have some other future plans. Some of them is already in progress. Sounds of the future. Chain sounds. Imagine you chaining sounds with your friends. Sound, audio, and NFTs. And we're also looking for collaborations with other artists, or they can do for us really crazy generative art for some NFT, audio NFTs. And we will also add a map, it's also in progress, where you can also see your NFTs in the real time where you recorded it and where you minted it. And native app, of course, on React Native. This is our team. We are a team of 5, and we have 4 developers and 1 community manager, Mimi. She can be here, but she's based in Berlin. We all based in Berlin except Nizza. She's in Tbilisi now, yeah. And thank you for your time, and stay in touch with our Twitter account.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ashwin Pakurel. I'm just gonna run a ChatGPT prompt here. But before I run, maybe I'll just give you a sneak peek of my demo, because just in case a live demo doesn't work. So what is here is this Streamlit app with the OpenAI ChatGPT API. So I can run a prompt. I get the response from the ChatGPT. And so I can summarize the response given by ChatGPT, and I can use this summary as a prompt to DALL-E, which creates the image, and this image can be minted as an NFT. So yeah, just to I will rerun this, and hopefully, yeah, it's taking some time. Okay, so I will start the presentation. So at Solti, we would like to empower content creators with the latest AI technology and micropayments based on Solana. We also would like to protect consumers. So we provide upvote and downvote buttons in the content created by the content creators. So what exactly is the problem? So with the announcement of GPT-4, content creators now must use generative AI responsibly. And they need very easy to use tools. And for them to be doing their work, micropayment as incentive is also required. But we also need to protect consumers so that they see vetted or truth or the right kind of content. So what do we build, or what's our solution? So we are gonna build a ChatGPT integrated platform to write mostly technical blog. You are able to summarize the blog again with the ChatGPT. Use the summary as a prompt for DALL-E, and you can use this image to mint NFT on Solana and put it on the marketplace. And how are we going to take such a massive goal? So together with my co-founder, Anu Vatarai, who is a lawyer and knows a lot about micropayments, especially in the South Asia region. So we are building this platform. So let me go back to my Streamlit. Okay, so you see there is a problem. Okay, I will run it again. So as I show you, so the prompt is, you are a blockchain developer. Please write a step-by-step guide in detail on how to deploy an Anchor protocol on the Solana smart contract. Get the program ID, and how do you connect the front-end Next.js app with the back-end? So I guess like me, many of you struggle with that. So so if this was running, you saw the pic, so you would get the answer. You would be able to edit the technical blog. You could create the summary of the technical blog. You could share your summary in the social media, and then you can also use this as a prompt for the DALL-E to create NFT image. And once you create the image, we would like to store this image somewhere in the decentralized protocol. So, but for the moment, I'm using AWS S3 to store this image. I will generate a pre-signed URL for this image, and we go to our front end with Anchor smart contract and Next.js Next.js web app. So we just give the URL, we submit it. So of course your wallet should be connected. Oops. So okay, you get the transaction, and okay, yeah. I submitted the same same picture. Okay, I should have submitted different one. So yeah, your NFT is on chain, and for the consumers to give that good content, so you can upvote with the upvoting lives on chain as well as downvote. Hopefully that's not the case. And who doesn't like animals? So you want to give a tip to the creator of the NFT. So you tip the NFT creator. And also for blog creation, we would like to provide this kind of platform where people are able to upvote and downvote the content, and so consumers see the good content. So at Solti, we would like to empower both the creators and protect the consumers. Thank you for your attention.
So my name is Oliver, and I'd like to present Fuel Swap. We fuel the carbon neutral future. And our mission is to provide the Web3 marketplace for green products and energy, carbon credits, investments with the buyers, producers, and investors as co-owners. Why that? Al Gore recently had a very passionate speech and presented that 90% of new electricity installations are in renewables today, and still global carbon emissions are going up. Why is that? Fossil fuels cover about 80% of global energy consumption, cause about 75% of global CO2 emissions. So how can we achieve the carbon net zero goal? One reason why this doesn't work is the transportation sector. This is actually lagging far behind all other industry sectors and accounts for about 17% of global carbon emissions. That's why this is a prime focus for us. And just recently, 4 weeks ago, Elon Musk presented in Dubai and said that even if we would switch to produce 100% electric vehicles today, it would take about 20 years to replace the fleet of conventional cars and trucks around the globe. So he expects about 30 to 40 years for this transition. We actually had a deeper look into the numbers and think realistically we would expect about 50 to 70 years. I was recently talking to some top industrialists in India about that. But still, we need to replace fossil fuels. The technology to do that is around. It's called carbon neutral fuels. Works with seawater and CO2 and a lot of electricity, and can produce all types of fuels that can be used in existing engines and infrastructure, and produce about 6 gigatons, or reduce the emissions about 6 gigatons per year. The traction for this technology is building with the World Rally Series actually operating fully sustainable since last year. We had last year as well 4-time Formula 1 champ Sebastian Vettel racing the fuel in Silverstone. And Porsche, Siemens and HIF are building the first commercial plant in Texas, US at scale right now. If we look at the big picture, you can see where the problem is. You have about 2 billion cars and trucks here out in the space. The most optimistic, let's say, prognosis for battery electric vehicles is around 200 million of them on the street by 2030. You have another problem that the grid, for instance, in the EU, the electric grid is only about 20% renewable, so you're charging your electric vehicle with 80% fossil. So if we want to solve that problem, we can do so with carbon neutral fuels and save about 173 gigatons CO2. That's about 640 times all the total impact of all sustainability projects on the globe in 2022. Yeah? That's massive. So carbon neutral fuels can greenify all existing combustion engines. They are identical in performance. They are drop-in fuel and can even blend it with fossil. They are battery for renewable energy anytime and anywhere with very easy logistics. And they can strengthen our energy independence because we can produce them in stable democratic countries around the globe. We don't even have to rely on scarce materials like rare earth that are needed for battery production. This supply chain is controlled 99% by China, by the way, today. Now, why did that not scale to date? It's expensive, it's not widely available, there's no proven origin, no incentives for use, no funding to scale production, and there's a lot of regulatory uncertainty. Actually, a perfect use case for blockchain DLT and Web3 solutions. And our solution levers are to digitize carbon neutral fuel with a fuel token as a digital twin, provide a marketplace to buy and donate, drive demand by an incentive machine, a fuel swap token that captures part of the fees, and scale the production by providing investment opportunities into such projects. So fuel tokens, ecosystem tokens, and at the base, a public blockchain ledger as a registry and transaction mechanism, an audit trail, and also a home for those digital assets, for instance, carbon credits and also the tokenized projects, which would then result in a prototype. We did a prototype, or actually Diana here did the prototype, to select and buy and donate, to find a fuel station, to greenify my car, to donate a price premium, to greenify, for instance, an ambulance, to manage the token rewards, and also to communicate that on social media. And I would like now to show you, hopefully, a prototype here. Does it work? Okay, sound is probably not. So basically you click through, we select here the map. You can choose the gasoline, about one tank, 50 liters here. Then also choose delivery if you don't, if you want to have it maybe on a racing track or something like that. You can look into your wallet, what is happening here. You check your avoidance goal. You can see the balance of your fuel swap tokens down here. And also have some background information, where this was produced, to have the whole audit trail there. That's actually the advantage, obviously, of blockchain technology. Here, the statistics basically, if you have, let's say, a goal to reduce your carbon footprint by 10 tons or something like that, this would be an average European. You can see your contribution here. Now, There are also further statistics here, for instance, about the pricing, how this is developing, because over time price will come down once you produce it at scale, and I will finish up soon. So the donation part and the communication here, I will skip that in social media. Just to finish that off, obviously a major blockchain like Solana would be a great partner. Because you have also Solana phone, things like that, to open that up. There's a big market for that as well, about $10 trillion per year, and FuelSwap could take a cut from that depending on the volume that is traded there. So connect with us. Every detail is, let's say, in the presentation that comes with it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. We are SolLightning, powered by Hoppa, our actual startup project that we're working on, which is bridging the fiat and the crypto world. And today, we are bridging the gap between Bitcoin and Solana. Our team, this is Adam, Kaspar, who's unfortunately not here today, and myself, Sylvie. Close. Just imagine you could pay with your Solana wallet wherever Bitcoin is accepted as a payment method. With SolLightning, we turn this into reality. Yesterday, I went to Subway on Chausseestraße in Berlin because I love their cookies. But what I love even more, now I can pay there with Bitcoin Lightning. And here, I even paid with Solana in the end. And Adam will explain you later on how exactly it works. But here, you can see a short sneak peek. On the right side, I just mirrored my phone. And on the left side, you can see me buying the cookie. And yeah. I also, it actually works, yeah, and whoever wants to test this out later with us, you're very welcome to. And the best thing is, you even get a 10% discount if you pay with Bitcoin Lightning there. All right, introducing SolLightning. SolLightning is an SDK for wallet developers to rapidly integrate sending and receiving of Bitcoin trustlessly and directly to or from their Solana wallet. How does this actually work? SolLightning enables instant conversion of any SPL token, so it could also be USDC on Solana, to Bitcoin and vice versa. We are utilizing the Bitcoin Lightning Network, which is a layer 2 solution on top of Bitcoin, which makes instant payments on the Bitcoin blockchain possible. Our solution, SolLightning, operates in a fully trustless mode based on cryptography and Bitcoin's proof of work. What are the actual use cases with SolLightning? Like me, you could pay for your Subway sandwich or cookie in Berlin with any SPL token from your Solana wallet via Bitcoin Lightning. Secondly, you want to buy an NFT on Solana, but only have Bitcoin in your portfolio or vice versa. Thirdly, you could initiate a payout in Bitcoin directly in a smart contract with set rules. Why Solana and why SolLightning? First of all, Solana has a super quick confirmation of transaction. Secondly, it's super cheap and fast swaps. And our tech stack requires intermediaries to submit all Bitcoin block headers to Solana. On Ethereum, this would cost us $36 a day. On Solana, it costs us 2 cents. SolLightning enables wallet users to tap into the existing Bitcoin payment infrastructure to pay with Solana or any SPL token seamlessly. It offers wallet providers an easy-to-implement open-source SDK. And now I want to hand over to Adam, who will explain to you how the magic in the background works.
So, how does it actually work? So, a payer has to select a swap intermediary that he wants to proceed with the swap with. This is based on the fee, its liquidity, and the reputation. Anyone can actually become an intermediary and earn fees on the cross-chain swaps. First, the payer locks up his SPL tokens in a smart contract on Solana. Swap intermediary then observes the creation of this smart contract on Solana and verifies it. If it's valid, he then proceeds to pay out the recipient in Bitcoin. Now imagine we could have this black box which could tell us, trustlessly, on Solana, that a Bitcoin transaction actually took place. An intermediary can then use this block box to verify to the smart contract that he really sent a Bitcoin transaction on Bitcoin blockchain. And this way, he can claim the SPL tokens. But how does that black box actually work? So, for on-chain payments, we use a Bitcoin relay program. It's a program that stores an SPV copy of Bitcoin on Solana. The SPV stands for Simplified Payment Verification, and this is actually what Bitcoin Lite wallets use, and this requires them not to download and verify the whole blocks, but just a relatively small black block headers. Intermediary can then use this to easily prove with just a transaction ID and a small proof called Merkle proof that he really sent the transaction on Bitcoin blockchain and claim the funds from the smart contract. For Lightning, we use submarine swaps, which operate a bit like atomic swaps, but exploit a property that for a Lightning payment to conclude, the recipient has to reveal a secret. We can use that very same secret to lock a smart contract on Solana. And this way, an intermediary can claim the SPL tokens only and only if he conducted a Lightning Network payment successfully. What is our business model? So we charge an 0.1% transaction fee on the protocol level. These fees are then collected in the protocol treasury and are used to fund the further developments. Swap intermediaries are of course free to charge any fee on top of this 0.1% protocol fee. They just have to be sure to not charge too much because people will just use a different intermediary. What we've built? A Bitcoin relay program that stores and verifies block headers on Solana. We also built a swap program on Solana, intermediary swap server implementation, and also a client SDK. And we also built a proof of concept web app that you saw in the demo, so you can test our client SDK with your Phantom wallet. We are a complementary team of builders with a mission to bridge Solana and Bitcoin in a secure way. Thank you, Grizzlython. It was quite a journey, and we love to be part of the Build Station community in Berlin.
I'm Dan, I'm at Sunrise Stake. Climate change is the greatest challenge of this generation. And up until now, the Web3 community has been on the sidelines. At worst, we are blamed and criticized for contributing to the problem. And at best, we're able to tell people, well, we're getting better. We're not as bad as we used to be. But this isn't good enough. We're Web3. We can change the rules. We have smart contracts, and we have a way of creating a new regenerative economy through code. And that's what ReFi is bringing to the climate crisis. That's what Sunrise Stake is bringing to the climate crisis. What do we do at Sunrise? Well, we have a core product that stakes against Marinade and SolBlaze, respective stake pool, liquid stake pools, and redirects staking yield to offsetting carbon by buying and burning carbon tokens. But in general, we have a wider range of products now. And our goal is to make climate action safe, secure, simple, and social for the Web3 community on Solana and elsewhere. I'm going to try a live demo, because live demos are fun. So if you log in to app.sunrisestake.com, you can do that now. We're live on mainnet. Please do. I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's very quick to stake a small amount of Sol, and you'll grow a little tree in this bag of earth that we see here. So follow along with me if you want. I'm going to stake a small amount of Sol. Actually, I'm going to stake almost all of my Sol. YOLO. And what's happening here is it's getting staked into stake pools, and you receive G-Sol as an equivalent. That's one-to-one mapping with Sol. You may or may not choose to tweet your success. Please do. And after a while, what will happen is this bag of earth will grow into a sapling. Hey, that was the timing. They grow into a sapling, and this sapling will grow as your stake grows. As your stake gets older, it will grow into a tree, and then a bunch of trees. So that's step one. You can unstake whenever you like. Just go back down to my stake, click unstake. There are no fees. But you might want to do more. So what you can also do is you can lock your Sol, your G-Sol, and that allows us to verify that you contributed to climate impact, you contributed to offsets, and you receive that as a proof in the form of an NFT. I'm going to lock a little bit. In a moment, this NFT will pop up. And this NFT represents your impact. And this NFT also grows as your stake continues to remain locked. So you can keep it locked for at least one epoch, after which you can either upgrade it, or you can keep it locked for further, or you can unlock it. That's not all. You can see if you go over here, we have a little thing called a forest. It's quite lonely in my forest at the moment. We've hooked up. By the way, I should give a shout out at this point, in case I run out of time later, to Carlos at Triggr. I think we're one of the first people building on Triggr. If you don't know about Triggr, check it out. Really awesome. They are providing the back end for a lot of this interaction here. And also I've integrated with Civic, which is an awesome company. Love Civic. And for the profile pictures and the usernames. Okay, but this is not much of a forest, so let's grow it a little bit. If you go over to here, we have our partners page. Let's get rid of those. So one of the things that we're looking to do in Q2 is all about integrations. We want to fill this partner page with projects, platforms, protocols, and marketplaces, exchanges, and so on. FuelSwap, I'm interested in integrating with right now. Reach out to me afterwards if you wouldn't mind FuelSwap, so that you can use this GSOL token across the entirety of Solana. And the longer Sol remains staked, and the more people use GSOL, where they would otherwise use Sol, the more actual carbon is being offset through yield being accrued. In the meantime, we have charities as well. We onboarded our first one a couple of days ago, and we're planning on onboarding some more in the next few days. I'm just going to use this charity here, which is a great one. They help support smallhold farmers in Central America. I'm going to donate a modest amount of Sol or GSOL to them. I have donated to them already. They won't mind. And if I do that, and then I quickly jump back to the forest, then hopefully in a couple of minutes or seconds even, my forest will be populated with Diamante's forest. Diamante's tree will join my forest. How about that for timing, everyone? Here's Diamante over here, and here's their forest back there. Who's that? Over there, anyway. So that's the demo. Just very quickly, over to the team. I'm really grateful to have a great team working with us. I just want to quickly call out the Berlin members. So we've got Ronnie and we've got Thomas, the engineers. We've got Giuliani. There's so much work on the marketing side. And we've got Lucas. I'm not sure if he's in the house. He created the beautiful, beautiful trees that you're looking at here, all dynamic. And they're unique to each individual, more or less. Also I have to shout out to Esther, who is an honorary Berlin member and our co-founder. She couldn't make it here today. She's gone back to London. And I won't talk too much about this slide other than to say, old person, not old person. Like I said, Q2 is all about integrations, so please talk to us if you're interested in supporting GSOL, if you're a DeFi platform or an NFT platform. And most of all, please try out app.sunrisestake.com. Stake a little bit of Sol and watch your forest grow. Thanks very much, everyone.
Hey everyone, Kai from Ogmi. So we're creating the world's best social trivia experience. What does it mean? Ogmi is a game studio. We are providing a decentralized and open platform with frameworks for anyone, individuals, communities, brands to create and host their own quiz game experiences. So our team is made out of 4 in the co-founding team department. That's David, CK, Mateusz, and myself, taking care of business, product, tech, and Web3, as you can see from my beautiful fox. We already have a few people on board believing in our vision. One of them, currently June, supporting us temporarily. Big shout out here. We got Vincent Michi and Secret showing us his best side, of course, taking care of the community right now. So what we've done previously through Grizzlython, we have talked to 50 plus trivia and quiz experts in the market, trying to understand where they failed and why this still might be a great opportunity. What we've seen is that these big quiz companies, they have over 900 million in downloads and had 80% 7-day retention, which is unheard of in this market. But we've also seen that they failed due to content creation and monetization. And then we saw that nobody's really utilizing the beautiful Web3 stack to take this game genre into the next stage. So we've seen an opportunity here to really bring the casual Web2 gaming demography within the Web3 space. Everyone is trying to do it, everyone is saying that they will, but we have seen that most Web2 gamers are annoyed and confused by the complex structures of NFTs, tokens, and we've seen that with Trivia being a rather simple, intuitive, but also rewarding game mode, we can really be one of the first ones to enable the overall growth. So the first product is Triviaverse, a trivia game, as I said, and I want to show a quick demo what we've been building here in the Grizzlython. So this is a PvP experience, right? And I can use my Bunkr. Of course, first have to log into my wallet, which of course now doesn't work because, you know, tech. So please give me 1 minute. You will now all see my password. So I will have to, this is not my private seed phrase, but I still have to change this now, which is completely fine. So I'll connect my wallet. I will see the challenges here. So right now this is playable, this is live. I will play against someone else. I can wager my 10 Bunkr tokens. This is currently only about our white paper. So instead of people reading our white paper, they have to actually play and compete if they want to get to know more. And so I actually lost, so my Bunkr tokens will be deducted and someone else will receive my precious, precious Bunkr. Now, this is the first PvP mode. Of course, we'll have various game modes further down the line. Why are we doing this? So we have a Web3 feature, we have UGC, and we have NLPs in there. Web3 is really only a feature for us, right? This gives creators the opportunity to create quizzes, content, and to host events and to be rewarded for their skills. This also enables them to create digital personas. So if I'm a quiz master about cars, I can really show my on-chain proof that I indeed have created these events and have succeeded in this space. In terms of NLP, we want to use this to, first of all, make sure that we never run out of content, which is a huge advantage that the companies didn't have 10 years ago or 5 years ago. But we also want to support creators with writer's block, with inspiration on what kind of quiz content to create. Now, last week we managed to close a first partnership and we did a little go-to-market test because we said, okay, everyone in the space within the Web3 gaming space has a problem of retention, growth, and engagement. So we said, hey, look, why don't you just host a trivia event on our platform to get everyone a bit engaged, to wake them up, and to, you know, raffle some NFTs if you would like to. And we did that together with Mighty Action Heroes from Singapore. The game screens looked something like this, and it was a great success. Over 100 people played. The game did not break, which was amazing, and the content creation was seamless and worked really, really well. So this is like a 6 weeks down the line kind of outlook. So we really want to make the content creation and the hosting of events really permissionless and open. So this will be the partner page. You log in, you create your own page, you upload your data, you upload the content, you link the assets, and then you can share the contents within Discord, Twitter, your website, wherever you have your people. There's obviously going to be a desktop experience for the creators as well, because creating content is easier on the desktop. The game itself will be mobile first, so Solana phone, please, thank you. This is how the event itself would look like. And then lastly, in terms of income, we have basically two major income streams. That's in-game revenue and advertisement and sponsoring. So in terms of in-game, we don't want to do too many primary sales, even though studies have shown that you make the most money with it, but we want this to become a sustainable game. So we are aiming for transaction fees, taking transaction fees on trades, on prize pools, on quizzes, and then also, once we gain a little bit of traction, companies can actually advertise within the game instead of showing an intrusive video ad. Let's say Nike can create a question saying, when was the Nike Air Force shoe released? 1, 2, 3, 4. People will think and feel like it's a game, but it will actually be an ad. So this will be the two major aspects in terms of revenue. And then lastly, there's a lot of actually application areas for trivia games like this. We have everything from education, onboarding, live events, and even surveys, and there will be an amazing data collection attached to this, so we will be able to categorize people on chain, saying, okay, we don't actually know who this is, but this wallet address has a big passion about cars. So in the future of advertisement, if you want to advertise on-chain, we can provide these on-chain digital personas as well. So last but not least, please take your phones, get ready to compete on a Grizzlython quiz. This is exactly how our partner quiz last week looked like. June supported us with the content, big shout out. If you have been here in the building station, you will have a little bit of an advantage. But yeah, so please go try it out. The top 10 will receive some prizes, so please reach out to us afterwards. There will be a leaderboard involved, so we will be able to track you down as well. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck.
Cheers. Hi, I'm Thomas, presenting PO, Proof of Environment. Well, this was a lie. This was fake. Climate change is not. Solving this challenge demands a collective effort. So how can we incentivize people to do good for the environment? Of course, raising awareness about climate change, demonstrating potential consequences are essential, but excessive pessimism causes individuals to resign or give up. So we want to take a more positive approach. That's why we created PO, a social mobile app built on Spring Labs, thanks for the amazing support, and Solana Mobile Stack that makes climate initiatives fun. It's a place where you can connect with others who care about sustainability, share ideas, or take part in competitions to reduce your environmental impact. You can share activities like taking the bike to work, cleaning up the streets, or sharing a delicious plant-based recipe on PO. Climate change is a top concern for young people, and many want to do something but don't know what and how. And PO provides inspiration and ideas on how to take action. And companies and communities can initiate challenges to even create more engagement. Like, for example, the city of Berlin could organize a bicycle day where everyone joins, takes some nice pictures and videos, post it here, hashtag Berlin is taking action. For sharing environmentally friendly activities, you will earn rewards like NFTs and tokens. So at the moment, every post mints our token for the user. And for completing challenges, like in the previous example, the city of Berlin could give away additional NFTs, like a proof of participation or other digital collectibles. The digital collectibles in our token can then be used to build your metaverse, which is coming soon. So you can imagine it like a development game or city building game where you can use your earned tokens to expand your metaverse, buy items like a house or build a park with many trees. So social media is everywhere. The biggest platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok have each over 1 billion active users who spend a lot of time there. But there are also many social media apps evolving that focus on a specific audience or interest, like Strava for cyclists, Goodreads for book lovers, and now PO for people who care about the environment and want to take action. And as I mentioned, climate change is a top priority for young people. And having young people as our target group fits well because they're usually not so prejudiced against social media apps and are often trendsetters. So if you imagine Facebook, Instagram, it started with young people and now our parents are using it. So we want to be the next social media app that onboards 1 billion users. So we're doing this by incorporating new crypto experiences, but using a familiar Web2 interface. So if I may drop some alpha, Spring Labs is currently building on an email login feature that allows you to use PO and any other apps built on Spring Labs to use it without creating your own wallet. With PO, we also want to build a community, a positive community that inspires and motivates each other, where people like spending time on. And another measure to help us grow is to create hyper-shareable content. What I mean by that is that you are able to share your content easily on other platforms like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Actually, this was a strategy from TikTok, so I can remember when I saw a lot of TikTok posts in my Instagram feed, and this is something we want to do as well, flooding all major social platforms with PO content. For businesses, PO adds new ways to connect with young people. and improve their green image. So companies can initiate challenges and pay out rewards like company NFTs or vouchers and so on. And once the first version of the metaverse is ready, we plan to integrate sponsorships. So for example, you earn some tokens as a user for posting climate-friendly activities, and then you want to buy a house in the metaverse. And this house could be sponsored by some company, XYZ. And it says, if you buy this house, the company will plant 10 trees, or donate X amount of euros to this climate project, or stake some Sol on Sunrise Stake. So by building and improving your metaverse, you're also making the real world a better place. So with the last slide, I just want to shortly introduce the team behind Po. So Ryan and I were building the React Native app, and Mahadeep took care on the business side, or basically all things non-tech. Thanks.
I'm going to present you Brick. Brick is a configurable payment protocol that allows sellers to tokenize anything they want. This is like a simple app I developed only to showcase the functionalities of the Solana program. To give you some context, the purpose of starting this project was to monetize dataset and enable user permissions through tokenization for Fishnet, the Mike's project. But the project ended up being a generalist on-chain payment protocol. Users can burn the tokens they purchase to get access to the real asset, good, or service in an automatic way. The use cases that might use this protocol could be like token gating, for example, dataset marketplaces, article apps, or even ticketing app. In this case, you can think the token is a promise that the seller actually gives to the buyer the real service or good. For example, a flight ticket grants you that you are going to enter to the plane. This ticket may be used as a token, and the check-in process is burning the token itself. Also, could be useful for SaaS monetization, tokenization of investment funds, on-chain investment funds. This is something that I may explore, but needs much more development. Inventory management and payment method for a store. I created a diagram, maybe here. Yeah. This is like in the repository, in the README, you can check the detailed one, but I want to explain a bit about this one. Will be like better. So, yeah, we have three characters here: the app creator, the seller, and the buyer. The app creator has to build the infrastructure and permissionless marketplace. So when you create an app, a token account in Solana, you are creating a permissionless marketplace. You can think of Fishnet as this. The seller that can set a config. In the demo, I'm going to explain all the configuration the seller can set. And the buyer that buys and burns the token simply. So, yeah, I'm going to do the demo. I don't see anything here. Shit. Fuck. Yeah. Okay, so here we have the create app and create token. The main feature of creating an app is that you can enforce royalties, so the app creator can get part of the funds the seller withdraw. On the token creator, you can think that the brick is a sales contract where the seller can set the mint of the token. Right now we set Bunkr, so you can get payments in Bunkr if you want. Also, you can do a limited and unlimited sell as another configuration. And also I created a mechanism where the seller can set a refund time. So the buyer, if he still holds the token, he can get the funds directly during this timestamp. So after this timestamp has consumed, the seller has the authority of the funds and can withdraw easily. So yeah, I'm going to create the transactions. The internet maybe. Shit. but I have my hotspot. Yeah. It's not working yet.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
Ah, there we go.
So let's create an app. Why is not? What the fuck?
All right, just 1 second. It's going to be... You good?
It's not working.
Click it.
The wallet adapter is
Here's
weird.
your hotspot.
Now, I think...
From now on, anyone can use this one.
Yeah.
I don't
Internet's
think...
back on.
Maybe no? Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to create the token. Okay. Now, okay, so break presentation. This is the app list. Okay, this is the token we have just created. We are going to buy it with the same wallet, but that doesn't matter. Okay, the transaction is succeed. We go to my tokens. In this list, we can see like the tokens we listed using Brick and the tokens bought using Brick. So this is the same token, this straw hat. So yeah, we can withdraw the payment. Shit. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, at least we can burn the token. All the functionalities we can see here is like burning to get access to the actual service. These images are tokens, are placeholders. And this withdraw button, we should get like the funds, but I don't know why it's not working. Should be working. And also we can, with the token listed, we can edit the price and share the token with other person. And yeah, basically, I don't know why it's not working the withdraw, but yeah, whatever. What? Yeah, it's in the repository, everything, and in the video it's working. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, basically that's it. I want to thank Mike and Heavy Duty developers. I built this alone, but they helped me a lot, so thank you so much for this. Shout out to them, and thank you.
All right, perfect. So my name is Ryan. I've been working on Bunkr for the past couple of months, and it's basically 2FA asset protection, trustless, permissionless on Solana. So, you know, what are your biggest problems in Web3? Right, like maybe your favorite stablecoin depegs, maybe you get your wallet drained, or you just happen to like hand out your seed phrase or whatever. And that's the big problem, right? Wallet security. Is that seed phrases represent single points of failure. That means one small mistake and all your money's gone. Your entirety of your portfolio is zero. Not good. We have some solutions so far on Solana, and in general, right? We have two options right now, which are a ledger, but let's be real, way too expensive for normies. They're like 80 bucks. Option two, multi-sigs. They're great, and they make sense to anybody who knows what seed phrases are and how cryptography works, and it just makes a lot of sense. Problem is, way too confusing for normies. Seed phrases are already a stretch. They don't even know what these are. So bring in Bunkr, hopefully an improvement, right, which is code-based 2FA on Solana. It lets us use classic Web 2 authenticator apps, such as Google Authenticator and Authy, right from your phone, the way you're used to in Robinhood or Binance. And it's super easy setup because it's Web 2, right? Web 2 stuff, super normie friendly. Just a little bit about the tech before I get into the demo. Just a little bit of TLDR for the nerds out here. Web3, as usual, requires us being crafty. So traditionally, in a TOTP mechanism, your server that's giving you the TOTP secret will give you the secret, store the secret, and then you have the secret on your phone so that you can generate codes. And then you send the code to the server, it takes the same secret and generates the code. Checks if it's the same, you're authenticated. Problem in this case is that our server is Solana, and it's public, which means we can't store any secrets. How do we get around this? A little bit of Merkle tree magic and some custom timestamping, and some computation on the front-end client side, which allows us to do fully on-chain verification of those codes without them being ever exposed. On to a demo. I hope this works. This is the UI is very rusty and it's just functional, but bear with me, the computation is cool. So let me walk you through like the init flow for a user, right? So first, you're going to navigate. Oh, hold up. Here we go. It's going to ask me to sign a message. I'm going to take my phone out. And we're going to scan this. If you have Google Authenticator or Authy, feel free to scan this. It's just for demonstration purposes, but you can see what it looks like in your phone. Just add the code, scan the QR code. And you should see a Bunkr branded wallet, or Bunkr branded wallet with 4 security characters and your wallet address. Right? Let me just confirm the code real quick, which is, in this case, 928-944. Confirm the code here. And it's getting me a reset password. You store this as you would a seed phrase. That's one of the things I can't protect against. If you store your seed phrase unsafely, chances are you'll store this unsafely, and it's kind of like a God key, the way it works in Web 2 as well. So bear in mind. Yeah, let me just make sure the request went through. And we're good to go. I'm going to confirm my password that I've now written down and stored safely. Now I'm going to choose a password for my Bunkr. Let's just go with password. Super safe. I'm going to create my Bunkr. And you'll see it charges me basically 0 Sol. I'm going to prove that. And that gives us our transaction, which means our Bunkr has been created. Which means if I go back to the QR page, it should automatically detect that I now have a Bunkr. It asks me to sign my message. Give it a second, it's fetching some data, and it'll take me to my Bunkr page. Right. And you can see we've got some Solana on here. That's just for the init cost that I put on here. I'm going to actually change to one of my other wallets so I can do some actual locking here. And ones that you also don't have access to because you all scanned the code. So give me a second here. Got a minute left. Okay, let's make this quick. All right, so this is my personal wallet. It's fetching some tokens, fetching some data. Give it a second. Let's grab some Bunk. We're gonna lock 10 Bunk. That give me a transaction. It's gonna send 10 Bunk to my Bunkr. That's cool. Let's go. Give it a second. Load my NFTs. Cool. Let's take this. Let's lock it. Cool thing with NFTs is they stay in your wallet. They just get frozen, so you can enjoy all your Discord perks. But if anybody tries to access your wallet, they can't get your NFT because it's frozen. So it's approved. So I'm approving to transfer. That'll be done. And then, so here's the fun bit, right, is that let's say I want to withdraw. I wonder if this will check this fast, but yep, okay. So my GMR's in my Bunkr. So it's technically in my Bunkr, but you can see that it's still, yeah, it'll be, yeah, there it is, right? So I'm going to go in, I'm going to use my auth here. Security characters. Grab my OTP. Everything goes well. Oh, actually, let's do it here. Yeah. The actual functional bit of the UI that works. Now, if everything goes well and we click withdraw, it's going to do some computation on the Merkle tree file that I have on store, calculating the proof paths and such. And then it should give me a transaction to unapproved from transferring to GMers, which means it will land back in my wallet again. Same thing if I take this. Technically, I have to wait 30 seconds now because the code will be expired, essentially. Yeah, we're good on time. Okay. I can unlock the same tokens the way I did with the fungible or the non-fungible ones. Same way, just a password, OTP, some security characters, sign a message, and you're good to go. You saw the sign-up flow was like 60 seconds at most. It's free. It's just cool. Yeah, that's it.
Hi, my name is Carlos. I'm going to show you what we've been working on at Triggr. So Triggr is 3 people. Marco is here. Walid is in Chicago. 2 developers, 1 designer. So can I get a show of hands of how many people here are technical? How many people can code? Oh. So almost half. So like we imagine a future that like most people can't code. And like hopefully all those people are in Web3, right? And so that has 3 main challenges. Blockchain is really complex. I mean, even for developers, it's hard to understand certain things. Users, because it's complex, making any software is expensive, it's time consuming. And so users don't have a lot of choices when it comes to how they interact with different applications. Maybe if a protocol integrates another protocol, then they have that connection, but then the user can't really decide if they want to use a different protocol. And finally, it's the cost, right? Development is really expensive, and especially in blockchain, it can be really expensive because of, like our friends here at Neodyme, audits are really expensive, time-consuming, etc., but they're super necessary. So our solution is a no-code automation platform. What does this mean? So Triggr is built upon 3 different pillars: composability, asynchronicity, and simplicity. So when we talk about composability, it's all about connecting protocols. Already, developers do this. Most protocols, especially on Solana, are built like Lego bricks, and they're actually built to interconnect with each other. And for developers, that's straightforward, but for the end user, it's not really possible. Automation, meaning that you can execute a transaction on your behalf at a different moment in time. And simplicity in that making it accessible to everybody by our no-code interface. So this is what it looks like. A user, in this case, they want to set up a semi-complex dollar cost averaging strategy that isn't really possible right now. So as you can see, we have 3 triggers right here. One for the calendar, so this is the last day of the month. It's going to check if the price of Solana is under $30 and if their Triggr wallet balance is more than $100. If so, it's going to continue, but if not, it's going to send you a smart message on Dialect. Dialect is a smart messaging app built on Solana, so it's kind of a wrapper around the wallet. And so this allows you to send a message that has a transaction request there, and if the user approves it, they can predetermine how much they want to fund their wallet with, all with 1 click. So at that point, Triggr identifies that this condition is again true. And then they'll go to something like Jupyter or any type of DEX, and they will do a swap. You can set it to swap a certain amount of tokens or a percentage. And then you'll be able to stake in Marinade or your favorite other staking service. You could even extend this further to like, to then stake your MSOL into SolLend to continue earning even more yield. Another example, this is for e-commerce. An e-commerce shop owner could set up a marketing automation. If a order on their shop is made over a certain amount of value. So in this case, they automate that if the order is above $100, send an NFT that will be used as a discount card for the next customer's purchase. Or for DAOs, DAOs is another really exciting use case, like automating a lot of their sort of like month-to-month, week-to-week type of proposals that have to be made. And like for example here, if their treasury balance is over a certain amount, then they'll be able to stake that SOL automatically, or create the proposal to stake the SOL into Sunrise. So when we talk about business, we will take a small transaction fee per every automated transaction. So this fee is above the already negligible transaction fee of a transaction on Solana. And then all of the automation itself is kind of powered by an off-chain program that will eventually be open sourced and given away to anybody that wants to run it on their computer. And for providing that compute, they'll be able to earn a percentage of the protocol fee. Moving forwards, we will ship a general purpose UI builder. So meaning very easily any protocol can integrate into the Triggr ecosystem and immediately open up a totally new world of possibilities for all their users. And an SDK for people to expand the available triggers. And finally, to open source the program as much as we can, keeping it safe, and making it that other people can sort of extend the Triggr ecosystem, make it more efficient, if they choose to, if they think it's useful for them, and therefore they could end up earning a higher percentage of the yield by making their own more efficient clients. So here we can go into a really small demo about how easy it is to work on Triggr. So we wanted to create an interface that didn't feel like we were having to teach people a new tool, like Figma or something like that. So we've opted with something that looks a lot more like a form. And so we're abstracting away a lot of things for the user. And so here we're going to set a trigger to execute at midnight, and we're going to create an effect to say we're going to do a delayed transfer to somebody. Here we could also do it a recurring, and we're going to send a certain amount of SOL to a wallet address. And so all of your automations are stored on chain. So these conditions are going to be stored on chain. And then you have a wallet within Triggr that will be the wallet that is debited for any of your interactions, any of your automations. So yeah, any questions?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'll let the hubbub settle. Everyone's eating Oreos and smashing Red Bull. Awesome. Nice to see a full room of people. That's really nice. My name is Ben. I'm from Australia, but I'm living in Hamburg. I do academic shit in Hamburg. I'm a sociologist. What does that mean? A sociologist does not code. And that is quite good. So I have a different perspective on things, but I work with a whole bunch of really intelligent tech people. And we came to address NFTs in this space because it's a roller coaster ride, isn't it? I do a lot of work in South Africa. I run a DAO called New South Africa. that attempts to take on a nation scope and solve the service provision problems of South Africa. That's a huge endeavor if you know Africa. We're also rolling out another DAO into townships, very lower socioeconomic areas in South Africa. So if you think DAOs are hard to run, try running them with a huge digital gap. It's really difficult. Anyway, this is not that, but it's to give you a bit of my background. I look at things differently, and just like technologists look at things differently, I've spent 9 years of my life bringing on a different lens. And when I apply it to NFTs with my team, we come up with two things. We come up with mass adoption, and we come up with what is value. So, Veblen good. NFT people know what a Veblen good is normally. It's a good that that's demand seems to increase as the price increases. A Rolex, for instance, or a Bentley, they are expensive, and if they were twice as expensive, suckers would still buy it because it's a status symbol. This is a bit of magic that happens, and it seems to break the economic laws that are before it, but it doesn't really. But it's with this magic that we go forward into the idea, the notion of what is value. A lot of people in Web3 talk about utility, and they talk about extrinsic and intrinsic value. And where does value come from? And they try and find it. No one really knows what they're talking about. Community's on that list, and I think that's a really big one. But the first one, when you look at sort of value theory, is perceived benefit. And we go from there, and there's all sorts of things. What my thesis is that meaning is the most important thing that we should all be talking about in NFTs, because that is what will drive true value in an intrinsic and extrinsic sense. NFTs are extrinsic value, in case you didn't know. They're extrinsic, they're external to another value. The value is community. But anyway, stories. Stories are what drives meaning. They are, of course, old as humanity. They do things like forge cultures. They allow relationships to occur. They take on a life of their own and become this little monster that travels around. A story that you might have heard, some gossip you pick up. They connect to us on an emotional level and make us experience that story. And this deeper connection is what builds meaning, creates community, creates cultures, and will forge value. It also goes viral, which is amazing. And stories can bring complexity. If you have a complex piece of information, you can bring it into a story and people will retain that information. Yes, and they build communities, which is very important. Now, look, follow this for me. Value is created through the recognition of benefit. That's pretty much what academia says about value if you want to bring everything together. Highest form of benefit is this intrinsic value of cultural meaning. That sounds so general, but apply to all your projects. Cultural meaning. Meaning is best understood through storytelling. And stories can be distilled into cultural artifacts. An artifact is anything made by a human. A cultural artifact. An NFT is a cultural artifact. An object is a cultural artifact. Stories are reproducible and they can go viral. However, the item cannot. The NFT cannot. They are unique. Okay, so what does Veblen try and do? We understand that we have luxury and culture, and we try and capture that luxury and culture through the idea of narratives. And we pin this to unique artifacts that have these stories inherently in them and form NFTs out of them, both a digital NFT linked to an object. We try and create these narratives, thereby creating value. So instead of reading this, let me just tell you some things. We basically have a model that we believe is going to create as much value through generate extra value on top of items that are already seen as valuable or culturally interesting. So we have someone called Elena, who's a good friend of mine now, and she is our main artifact seeker. And she is a curatress of the items that we use, and she also works with all our people, all our storytellers, in order to curate collections of things. But we focus on story. Here's an example of what potentially a Veblen good is, a unique Veblen good. It's Rejewski's Enigma machine that he used to crack Nazi codes back in '32, which then led to the wartime effort to crack the codes. This is a very unique good, and that is his Enigma machine. Digital ownership. This is a part of it. It is actually legal in many countries, and we're working on more countries, to pin the ownership of an object to an NFT. And that's a new concept. I don't know if anyone's aware of that. It wasn't there a few years ago, but it is becoming now a thing. You can put a legal contract into an NFT, and then that means that if you hold that NFT, you can legally take your shoes away from you, so to speak. Stories. We're creating framework for not just a marketplace, but a metaverse gallery where we can put multimedia, including experiential media of the metaverse, etc., and video, and of course imagery, audio, everything into that interface. So the NFT is not a JPEG or a hashtag with a JPEG stuck on it. It becomes this multimedia experience. Yes, this is the gallery that I was talking about. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the awesome things. Yeah, that's a car that made and then broke Mercedes' racing career, basically. It's a high, if you know anything about car racing, and I don't, it is a very impressive automobile, and this is another idea of an object with a huge story underpinning it. That value can be then seen. This is a very expensive piece of jewelry. However, it's more expensive because of its history and not because of the jewels in it, which makes it interesting to us. And of course, this object is Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Leicester, which is also very expensive. Oh shit, okay. That's what Veblen does. We've got a group and we attempt to tell stories, find artifacts, and we have a very strong tech team, which is Christian and Duncan, who you may know of as well. Thank you very much. Let's create stories together.
Welcome to my presentation for Illuminare. Illuminare is a new tool to visualize transactions and accounts on Solana. A bit in a different way than you do it normally on normal explorers like SolScan or Solana FM. So the whole purpose of this platform is to visualize all on-chain data in a nearly as human-readable format as possible. There's a screenshot of the visualization of my account. In the middle is my wallet. And you see all those little circles around it. These are all wallets I ever interacted with since the beginning of Solana. So with Illuminare you can fetch literally all historical data for any account and let it visualize for you. So all the edges between my wallet in the middle and the circles are indicators of what type of transactions happened. All red edges are basically outgoing transfers to other wallets. Green edges are incoming transfers from other wallets. And some edges are orange here. These are in and outgoing transfers between me and another wallet. Yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of wallets interacted with, and that is only everything with an applied filter. So this is just without create account transactions, close account transactions, and over a certain amount of SOL. What do we offer with Illuminare? So basically you can click on every single edge, I will show you later, between two wallets, and you get an aggregation of all transactions that happened between both wallets. That is the aggregation between me and Jupiter. So as you can see, I did around 29 swaps with Jupiter where I used USDC as an outcoming, as the token I put in. And for example, on the outgoing transaction card, you can see that I received 21 times SOL from Jupiter. And you also see the total volume of each coin I exchanged with this wallet. As said, you can apply filters. So you can easily filter this whole visualization by any token, by swap aggregators, by marketplaces, you can also just put in another wallet beside your own wallet, and then you'll see only transactions between your wallet and another wallet. What can you do with Illuminare? So basically, let's say someone is exploiting a protocol or rugs your favorite NFT project. Pretty easy to just throw in the wallet address of the person that is exploiting or rugging something. And yeah, you will directly see all transaction flows of this wallet. So if you want to know, for example, the guy that hacked Mango Markets, for example, you can just use wallet address, put it into Illuminare, and you will see directly where all money went to which wallets, what was the volume between other wallets. Yeah, basically you can also just filter transactions between wallets. You can analyze wash trading. So if you're wondering why a certain NFT collection or coin has a lot of volume, yeah, just throw in a wallet address that is trading this token, and you'll probably see what is happening, which wallets are wash trading. Yeah, you have interactive elements, so you can basically just build your own customized UI, what we'll do in a second. And you have a personalized interface, you can save preferences and build your label other wallets so that if you load data again in the future and a wallet appears that you already labeled, you'll get the label for this wallet instead of just the base 58 string of the wallet. So let's just load data from my account real quick. Loading, so yeah, that is, as I already said, all data, historical data from my account. What I can do here, well, what do I mean by you can personalize everything and build your own UI here? You can just drag around literally every single node and put everything so together that it looks in a way that, yeah, you feel it's good. You can show it to other people. You can post a screenshot of it and it makes sense. Yeah. So let's analyze again maybe Jupyter with my wallet. So I just drag around Jupyter real quick and I click on the edge, and here I get some aggregations of all transactions. Same is possible with other wallets and NFT marketplaces. So if I click on Magic Eden Edge, I get information that I had in total 28 outgoing transfers, incoming transfers to Magic Eden. So I probably sold NFTs worth a total of 200 SOL at Magic Eden, received the money, and I paid 276 SOL in total on Magic Eden for NFTs in 45 transactions. Yeah. And then let's see, would be interested in my favorite shitcoin. So let's use Common K to open the comment palette, go to filter, go to USDC, my favorite shitcoin. No. Yeah, we use USDC. Yeah, and then everything is filtered for me by USDC. So that are all wallets I interacted with only with USDC. If I click on this wallet, for example, it shows me, yeah, I have sent out 13.62 USDC to this wallet address. And I can remove the filter again, get everything back. And yeah, that's basically it.
Hello. So, I'm Yusuf. I'm a student at high school right now, and I'm the founder of Cavyar. So, Cavyar, stop chewing, start building. So, what's behind that? Solana development is really hard. So, we have few resources online. It's hard to find good examples for even easy problems, and writing Solana programs requires a lot of boilerplate code. So you tend to write the same code again and again. All in all, it's a lot of chewing glass. It's not a good experience, and we don't have any tools that give that glass a little sweet taste. You know what I mean? So how do we get rid of chewing glass? Cavyar is a snippet platform in the high level. So it provides a really intuitive, creator to create snippets, and it's open to everyone, so everyone can go there, create snippets, and everyone can use them. Another big feature is that there's a custom, or I'm training a custom GPT model on Solana code specifically. So there are automatically generated explanations for code snippets, which makes it really easy for beginners to get started with it. And last but not least, it's free and open source. So let's jump into the web app really quick. And this is the search, first of all, but we want to go into the creator first. So there we go. Now, let's say we want to have a hello world snippet. Really simple for now. It's like this, and then we have another function, fn, like this, message, something like that. Then let's go next. Now we can mark variables in this code. So for example, this one could be the function name, and another one, this could be the message. So next step, now you can just add the title, so hello world, add a short description, select which language or framework you're using, and add some text to optimize the search. Now once we did that, we can go here and we can see like the recent snippets. So for example, we have the open book update order snippet, and what you can see here, this is a snippet to, well, update your open book order. And if you scroll down, you can see this AI-generated description of this code. And soon, hopefully, you will also be able to ask questions back. Now, okay, it's nice, you can go here, copy the snippet, paste it into your code, but you know what would be even better? If we would just go into our IDE and have it right here. So what we can do now, let's say we want to build a simple anchor program where we want to deposit Sol to a PDA. Now, what I want to do first is the lib.rs file, so I'm just going here, program boilerplate. We are going to pin the snippet to the top, going to the lib.rust and let the magic happen. There we go. So now here we can enter our address first. If I had one, red. Now the demo, the name of the program, the instructions. So in our case, we wanted to call it fund vault. Demo fund vault, and this one also fund vault. So next up, let's create a state for the vault state. For that, we can also go here and there create state. Also, just a code snippet. Let's pin it, go back to the file, and now we can just enter it. So let's go like this, vault, the space, let's say 100, and here we have our state. Next up, we want to define an error because we want to have good error handling because we're good developers. So here, create errors enum, pin it, go back, scroll up, and paste it. So custom error, I'm going to create an insufficient funds error. I think I misspelled this. Insufficient funds. There we go. But as you can see, it's kind of hard to always like scroll down and then pin it and then scroll back up again. So what we can also do instead, let's say we want to define our account structure, we can just do C underscore and it fetches all these snippets and we can just type what we want and we'll also query the available snippets. So we can just go account struct, enter, and then fund vault. Then we can add our handler as well. So instruction handler, then just go fund vault, And we want to initialize the PDA, so we just go like this, initialize PDA. Here we go the length, which is vault, max size, vault, vault, and vault. A lot of vaults here. And last but not least, to finish it up, we just want to do a simple send lamports instruction. So we can also, again, just do C underscore send lamports. Now we got this bunch of code. And we can just do authority. Next one, vault, the lamports we want to transfer. And here our error, so custom error insufficient funds. And that's it. We have our program in 3 minutes. One more thing, sorry.
You still have time. You still have time.
Cavyar.io, sign up for the early access.
Get early access to Cavyar!
GM everybody. I'm Sanya. I'm very excited to tell you about Geo today. I learned from Daniel from Sunrise to do a little engagement in the beginning, so I want to do that because you're probably maybe like, I don't know if you're getting a bit sleepy after all of these amazing presentations, but no, I'm really curious, like how many here use Google Maps? Geo is a Maps app, but I think Google and Apple Maps do just fine at showing you businesses around you and taking you there through directions. I don't see the point in competing with that, but I do think that maps, and especially in their convergence with Web3, could allow for such unique, interesting experiences that are really underexplored currently. So that's what I'm excited to do with Geo. So I want to tell you first some reasons that made me fall in love with this project. Then I want to show you what I've been up to the last couple of weeks, and then I will tell you what my plans for the future are. So the first thing that made me want to do a Maps app was my own pet peeves with Google Maps, which were that I wanted to save places and share them with my friends. And I do believe that the UI and the implementation of that in the current big maps are absolutely terrible and unusable, and I don't even want to use them for research for these projects, so I don't know what they're up to, but nothing good. The second was that I did want to empower communities. This was from my experience being part of certain communities that I felt could benefit greatly from exchanging location-based data, and I do see a great opportunity there. And interestingly, doing research, I learned that during the pandemic, funny enough, even though we were all on lockdowns, the use of the feature called My Maps on Google Maps, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's some feature to do these things, but it's just not super well known. It shot through the roof because people wanted to share breath time. It always happens to me when I am speaking publicly. I run out of breath. I forget to breathe. Also, I need to speed up this section because if it's like 7 minutes, I have a lot to say. So, anyways, I'm really excited about empowering communities, and Google and Apple are not going to do that anytime soon. They're not going to embrace Web3, so it's up to us to do it. So I went down a rabbit hole. I realized that maps are, in fact, well, shown by the raise of hands, in the top 3 most used apps, but they are not innovating. All Google Maps is doing is find ways to put more ads in the maps. So that's very not exciting. So I would like to, well, this is just an example of Telegram is an app that you would think, well, it was pretty much like WhatsApp. Like, why would you go against WhatsApp if they have a monopoly? But all they did was to introduce funny stickers, and now they have 500 million users. So just as an example, in case you think like you're crazy to do a Maps app, because like there's this huge monopoly that is impossible to take on. So some of you may have seen this picture, but I would like to show you more images of the prototype and also tell you a bit of what's going on here. So I'm going to show you a picture of a simplified version. This is the first version that I will be releasing as part of the closed alpha. It's only going to have one layer. I'm using this software called Spling. I call it the friends layer, and so I would like to tell you about layers. Layers are these things that you see here. Basically, you can think of them as collections of places. And I believe that we all are passionate about certain places. We all are passionate about certain communities. And the world is really like vibrant and alive. So our maps should reflect that. So you can put places in just more fun, engaging ways that you can do in the current Maps applications. This is just a little flow that I want to share with you. So you could go to the friends layer to see what your friends are up to. You would log in here with your Solana wallet. And when you move away, the reticule stays in the center. I find that this could be interesting for, well, among other people like me with long nails, because it's like hard to choose like a specific point. This is niche, but anyways. And then you can click on this button, and then the menu to create a new place will appear, which looks like this. You can share it to different networks. In this case, I'm choosing Spling, but I'm open to working with different protocols in the future, as long as they're open source, exportable, and Web3. And that's what a new place looks like. And this is what the layers menu looks like. So you could create a new layer, or you could subscribe to other layers from your friends. Oh yeah, and I'm calling this proof of code and not really like a proper demo, because I'm presenting native mobile apps, but for the purposes of this demo, I mean, I'm uploading that code, but for the purposes of this demo, I just wanted to show you the web app because it's easier to show. And also I wanted to say kudos to Spling, because it was pretty easy to create a web app for this presentation. I just did this in the last couple of days. I just wanted to show you it's an interactive map, and then you can just select one of your one of your Solana wallets, and then once you connect, right away you'll get asked to create a new user, and then you can start adding your places. But this is, my priority is mobile though. So just to show you a little sneak peek. So I could talk about the ideas that I have for hours, but I will just say that I see great potential in implementing integrations. I mean, just today, like I'm listening to the pitches and I'm thinking about all the possibilities. I do think the Solana ecosystem is really unique in the richness and ambition of the ideas. So there's endless possibilities. Okay, 30 seconds, vibes teaser, and then I'm done. I do need music for the vibes. I think it's okay. Let's imagine it's coming from great speakers. I didn't do those sounds. Just a little vibes teaser, you know, just to show that I care about design and vibes. And I'll just show on screen some links, but that's pretty much it. Well, yeah, it's just me for now, but I don't hate people, I promise. Like, I would love to collaborate. If anybody has ideas, thoughts, feedback, anybody wants to collaborate, it's happened like this time, but I'd love to have a team for this. These are some links. I will be releasing a closed alpha for Android I'm promising myself, not to you, don't take it as a promise, but to myself, I'm promising I'm going to release a closed alpha before the end of the month. So the way to sign up is just to follow me on Twitter, well, the Geo on Twitter, @MapsYourWay. And then I'll be choosing the, I don't know, first maybe 50, maybe 100 people, I'm not sure, who follow the account. And that's it, thank you so much.
Okay, hello, I'm Marcus. I'm with the team of SolWaves here. I'm very, very happy. I have Sarah on stage and Chris. And we came here, yes. We came here with a little vision. We wanted to build basically a 3D city in a metaverse for Solana. We found out, huh? Closer, okay. Closer, you hear me? Okay, yeah, okay. We found out it's pretty difficult, but Sarah is going to tell you a little bit about it.
So, what is basically a problem? Based on our experience, we noticed that the JavaScript developers often have a problem with the programming skills to build their solution on Solana. So Solana is a really complex a blockchain platform, and it requires programming skills in the Rust, and also developers need to be familiar with Solana architecture. Also, creation of 3D data can be challenging, and it requires a lot of skills and knowledge, and for some cases can be extremely difficult. The third problem that developers can also struggle with is developing a new metaverse environments, and there is currently no available way and standardized way to do it.
So we were looking for a solution for that. So basically we are building a layer between Solana and the JavaScript ecosystem. So JavaScript developers can basically then build their applications without touching a lot of Solana code or no Solana code. Like Rust is really, really difficult to learn. It's really hard for JavaScript developers to take on. So we want basically to hide away the difficult parts. We want just to build on JavaScript, and in the background it's getting converted to Rust or to the Solana ecosystem. So we want basically that JavaScript developers can just take nodes, can just take their code and then translate it basically to the Solana system. How we do it? We have a lot of 3D templates, and it's browser-based, and it's very fast. You don't need to load anything. It's really, really, really fast. Yeah.
All right, so the big question, how does Solana play all in this? Well, basically, when a new user wants to register, we will encourage them to use their wallet. Once they're registered with their wallet, they'll be able to take part in the marketplace. The marketplace is where 3D creators can mint their NFTs and sell it. And if you don't know how to make 3D models, don't worry, you can buy them using your wallet. So, why are we talking about the metaverse? How many of you have heard of Roblox? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Some of you guys, I don't know, there are a lot of young people in here. But basically Roblox, 80% of their users are under the age of 16. So we already have a new generation that's already accustomed to the metaverse. And these kids are eventually going to want to build, right? And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a place for them to build and showcase their work. Another thing is that, as Marcus had said, there's 17 million JavaScript, script coders, and we can use this to help them get accustomed to Solana and to Rust and so on. I want you to think, basically, WordPress for 3D creators.
So we are addressing the huge market. The NFT market in 2022 was valued 24.7 billion. And at the same time, Metaverse brought 400 million of users to the platform. So with this global potential market, we believe we can achieve 5% of market share that would bring 20 million of users and the same 20 million of users to the Solana ecosystem. Our business model based on transaction fees and premium features, so that means that we charge a fixed amount of 15% of fee on every transaction, and we also increase visibility for premium users for their NFTs. So this is our team. I am Sarah, I am free data expert and game designer. We have Marcus here. He is a software developer, and we have Chris, who is UI UX designer and media artist. Let's connect on LinkedIn. We are really happy to connect. So thank you for listening, but there is one thing that we would like to show you, but Mark is going to present.
This is what we were building.
Look at that! Just flying through the metaverse.
So, Alphabet, it's open source anyway.
All right. Welcome to Grizzlython. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, except for me, but it actually is happy hour right now. And there's Augustiner in the fridge. If you're from Berlin like me, then you drink about 100 of these a week. So I am here to enjoy some beer with all, and I want to thank the Solana super team for putting together Grizzlython. Please, a round of applause for your super team. I'm going to take this out of here. This is ridiculous. Okay. So the thing is, I work in developer relations, and I've been in DevRel for like 10 years, like since before it was called DevRel. And I build developer relations teams now. And I have never seen anything like what you all do. Like, super team is incredible. They are extremely good at growing community and engaging in a world that is quite frankly foreign to the entirety of Web 2. I came here and y'all speak a different language a year ago, and I'm figuring it out, but I am super impressed. And I'm super proud to be a part of it, I guess, at this point, because I have a super team sticker right on my laptop now, so pretty excited to be here. All right, I didn't actually get on stage to talk about myself. I got on stage to talk about this other thing that I'm gonna try and explain as well as Felix built. So this is Create Solana Starter, and you can find it on GitHub. You might have heard of this website. It's a project that is going to become your very best friend, I suspect. How many of you are new to hacking in the Solana ecosystem? Do we have any new developers here? Super team attracted some new friends. And who's new? Yeah, by show of hands? We got a lot of new people. Look at that, I'm new, it's cool. We're all new, right? We're all new at something. When you're new to the Solana ecosystem, how many people cried a lot? It was me, I cried a lot. I cry every day. Cry myself to sleep at night. It's hard, it's intimidating. You all have a lot going on over here, right? So, we built this thing. We built, as in Felix wrote and I talked about, Create Solana Starter. And I want to tell you a story real quick before I get into it. This is, I feel like this slide's pretty self-explanatory though. Everyone gets this? Should I just skip it's yaks, rabbits, and salt. I will actually explain. Yaks as in yak shaving. Anyone know what yak shaving is? Probably, yeah. For those who are unfamiliar with the term, programming idiom, sometimes when you set out to learn a new thing, like writing your Solana app for the first time, you get distracted by a bash prompt that you see in a tutorial video, and then you edit your bash prompt for 3 hours instead of learning Solana. So, the longer the list of steps that we require newcomers to use to get into the ecosystem, the more likely it is that they will begin yak shaving a random piece of their stack or anything else that they are more familiar with and distracts them. Programmers are really good at yak shaving, as in that you are shaving a yak that continues to grow hair and you can never make it bald, right? What they are also good at is rabbit holes.
we are good at seeking out a tutorial and finding out that the tutorial is broken at a certain point and seeking another one and seeking another one, and then let's set about and write our own tutorial. And then I'm distracted setting up my new Medium account and designing a logo, of course. And again, I'm lost, right? Last problem we aim to solve here is SALT, as in salty keyboards, because you cry a lot when you are learning a new thing. This is just what happens, right? And we want to make that a painless experience. It should be painless. Solana, as an ecosystem, is slaying it, by the way. You all are doing a real good job of being an open and welcoming community and bringing new developers to the space. That being said, there are 30 million developers in the world, and there are 30,000 of them who speak Web3. You have an opportunity here to grow that slice of the pie. So, this is how we decided to do it. NPX, create Solana starter. Rad Sol is my radical Solana app name. Ready, set, build. This is exactly what is required to set up a new Solana application now, using this CLI tool. So, it's a pretty simple tool. It's index.js, it's got one file, just JavaScript. There are calls out to some existing CLI tools. We're not trying to build the whole world from scratch. That would be silly, right? We have one dependency, it's chalk, so we can have colors on the command line because chalk is cool and colors are pretty. It installs with NPX, it's part of the NPM registry. It's ready to go today. And the batteries are included. It'll even set up a wallet for you, which you do not want to deploy to mainnet. I will repeat, do not deploy the built-in wallet to mainnet, please. So this is how you do it. NPX creates Solana starter Rad Sol. It has some dependencies, the Solana CLI, Anchor CLI, Rust, and JavaScript installed locally. I expect you all have those. Change directory into the Rad Sol directory, and I npm start. Who wants to see a live demo? Oh, look at me. I'm live typing. Oh, I'm controlling it with my mind. Here we are running, and we are creating a Solana app. And you see we do this anchor init here, right? And we are writing the lib, and we are running some tests, and now we're installing chalk. And this is what we mean by batteries included. Now you are done. You have set up a new application. So let's open it up here. Opening an application directory in VS Code is going to give us a nice welcome screen because we didn't turn it off in the settings yet. And now we can go into the terminal here and we can start it up, right? So when we start our application with npm start, we have a full app here. Look at that. We're airdropping ourselves some tokens. Look at that. We just got 100,000 sold. That was a pretty sweet deal, right? And you can see in here that we've deployed to the workspace. We are now waiting for the transaction to finalize. So we npm start. We have a wallet. We airdrop ourselves a bunch of tokens. This is the painful thing to figure out when you are new, right? Getting all of this together. And now when the transaction is finalized, we are done-ish. In 1.37 seconds now, after our transaction happens, we're done. So we're going to update now. There's an interesting component of this CLI that it's automatically created a watcher for you. So it's watching your librs file. We go in here and we copy our initialize function. We're going to add a little test function here. Test. This is me magic typing test. Great. Now, down here you see that we're watching librs for changes, right? Wait for it. It's very exciting. Save the file. Dun, 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 dun. A change in librs detected. Rebuilding, redeploying, and re-uploading the IDL. It also watches your IDL, by the way. And 1.03 seconds later, you are done. Shipped. And I'm at time, and I'm Jonan, and that's Felix. Felix, raise your hand. Everyone go talk to Felix. Felix is awesome. Yeah! Woo! Thank you so much.
Jim. I'm one of the co-founders of TaskVault. That's a decentralized freelancing platform for Web3 built on Solana. The current status of freelancing in Web3 is painful, just in the word painful. It requires so much trust that has to be built up first before the freelancer can even start working for the client. Right now we have such a thing called like a milestone-based payment system, which works, but only in some settings, and the trust is included, which is unnecessary. And apart from that, like traditional freelancing platforms like Upwork or Fiverr clearly don't work for Web3. They have no stablecoin support, are transparent, centralized, have high fees. So right now there is really no easy way to earn stable coins for a freelancer. And not only we believe that's a massive issue, also Alliance DAO, the Web3 accelerator, thinks that as well. Yeah, so our solution, what are we building? We're building a decentralized freelancing platform on Solana, including a secure escrow service, smart dispute resolution service also, and eventually making it community-owned and fair. Yeah. So how does it work? Well, you sign in with your wallet, a freelancer signs in with their wallet, applies for a job, freelancer and client log funds in escrow, the freelancer delivers, the client releases the funds, and it's all good. But what if someone tries to cheat? Well, we have a dispute resolution in place for this. We did not come up with this. This is based on BISC, the decentralized Bitcoin exchange, who has developed this process, and for them it's working really great. So what it is like funds are locked in a 2 of 3 multisig, where the third key is held by an arbitrator. That's first step. Second step, freelancer and client can resolve disputes by chat. If that doesn't work, a mediator will be included who looks at who looks at the case, makes a suggestion. If that doesn't work, an arbitrator will be included, who then makes the final call and decides where the money is going to. But eventually we want to become just more than a freelancing platform. What you can see here on the left, that's a screenshot from jobs.solana.com, listing over 190 jobs for the Solana ecosystem. And these jobs are not going to fill themselves. And where we can help is by pooling the great talent we have on our freelancing platform. We can also help fill some of these jobs, which I will show later, and thus accelerate ecosystem development. We've done a little competitor analysis. Of course, we are at the write-up. The market size is also great. This is only for freelance devs, not including UI, UX designer, or also the referral part of the business. Yes. What have we done so far? Well, we have a really new project, working on this only for 3 weeks. We have validated the idea, done some market research. We found, we're now a co-founder team of 2, but we're looking for a developer. What we have done is a fully planned inspect mockup, which we will see in a minute. Already in talks with angel investors, and soon hopefully locking first funding. We want to launch the freelancing platform soon, in a month or 2. Then onboard institutional clients. Also, super team would be perfect to have. Eventually, the token sale and DAO is the plan, but yeah. So who are we? I'm Thomas. I have a business development background. Studied business innovation. I've launched 2 companies before, both in Web 2, and worked a year as a CRM consultant for Microsoft in Web 2, which was just horrible. I had to quit and go Web 3 full-time. And that's Lennart, that's my co-founder. He's a PhD candidate and an expert in recruiting and sourcing talent. Together we are building TaskVault.
Smell?
Sorry, yeah.
My bad.
Okay, that's how it looks so far. Freelancer can sign up here, sign with the wallet, everything's optional. This will be either stored on chain or on IPFS or some other decentralized hosting. Go through job listings, write some message, apply, have his active job posts and stuff. So this actually is not new. There have been decentralized freelancing platforms in the past, all failed. But every project did something wrong, and So we're gonna make everything right, hopefully. So and clients can similar process for clients. And up here, what we have here is like the refer part, where what makes this talent platform really interesting, and namely listing the bounties for really high-skilled niche talent jobs, which are really tough to be filled, but great freelancers know great peers, and they can refer each other and earn some bounty on the side. But this does not only like help them, but also like the Solana ecosystem, because if these jobs are filled faster, we can build more. And as you all know, we need to build ourselves out of despair. We're gonna make it. But yeah, thanks for listening.
So my name is Yannick, and Synthius, it's my project. What is Synthius? Basically, Synthius is a project where you can like wage on prices of stocks, crypto, or like basically everything where you can like get data from. So how does it work? A user can select a price on which he wants to bet and on whether he believes the price will go up or down, and the amount of collateral he wants to deposit. When the user sells his position and the price moved in the direction the user predicted, the user will get the collateral back that he deposited plus the profits he made. If the price moves into a different direction, he will basically lose the extent his collateral based on the extent of the price change. The positions will be automatically terminated after 24 hours. It will be automatically terminated if the price change exceeds 100% of the capital that was deposited, but the user can basically add more capital to extend his runway. After 24 hours, all positions will be automatically closed and funds will be and the funds will be distributed accordingly. So a little bit more technically, like the smart contracts are basically written using Anchor, and in order to get the price data, I use Piss Network, and in order to automate the liquidation process, I use Clockwork. A little bit more about future. Like the future is about to integrate more data, for example, like that you could bet theoretically on weather or something like this, and to build frontend, because right now there's just a smart contract. That's a team. It's just me. I'm a blockchain engineer. I have background as I've worked for 2 years as a Solidity developer, as a freelance Solidity developer. Yeah. Thanks.
So first I want to show you what we built in September and what we do now. So let's have a post from the Stone Ape crew, what we built in September. Yeah, let's just watch it like that. And yeah. Okay. Video doesn't. It's working fine on my side. You know what I mean?
Works on my machine. Never heard that before.
I think Elon broke Twitter again. Okay. So yeah, this is a demo of what we did in September in Vienna. We actually accepted in a few dispensaries already, but basically this is just a phantom wallet, and we want to build a payment solution for cannabis. So obviously nobody will download the phantom wallet and want to handle private keys and do all this stuff. So we need to build something more. So let's get right into it. First of all, this is our team. The amazing Abu with us. With our guy Remedy all the way from the Virgin Islands, and John couldn't make it. The video plays again. So yeah, let's get into it. We built the payment solution where no wallets are required for customers and for merchants. So we want to make it very easy for anyone to accept payments. And in the cannabis industry, we have a huge problem because there's like the cannabis merchants in the US, they can't accept debit cards, credit cards. So they're pretty much like unbanked more or less. But they have like credit union banks, but they can't accept the credit and debit cards for that. So initially we want to build it like just a peer-to-peer wallet solution, where we have seen that like a lot of merchants don't want to have anything to do with wallets and they don't want to know the hurdle of it. So what we want to do is allow everyone to accept digital payments in a hassle-free way. So we built a no wallets needed payment solution. So actually you can just log in with Google. There's the private key split into multiple shares, and what it allows is for anyone to just log in with Google or with Apple, and then they can already like top up their account and send money between like different accounts. And yeah, I think we should have a look at it, I guess. So I would love to show this from my phone, but I don't know if it's possible. So yeah, I will show you how it looks like for a merchant. So basically we are already like logged in. He can either like log in with Google or do whatever. And we want like, you can see everything, the revenue, everything very easy for merchants. And they have like store management, so obviously funds are split from the access, so the employees can just accept the funds. So right now we're focused on the POS part. And here you see the POS solution. We will, for example, now just select 5 USDC, make a payment, and trigger the payment. It's all using Solana Pay. But now I will open it in my browser. And what you see right now is actually either you pay with your wallet or you log in with the Google account. I'm already logged in, so you can add funds. We're right now working on integrations to top up your account with on-ramps of like Apple Pay or credit card. So basically everyone can like top up their account very easily, and then they can just use this decentralized solution to pay. And I can top it up now with a private key. I want to show you like how it works when I log in with Google, so you'll see it's not like we intend this to not be like fake or something. So yeah, I'll make a new payment real quick with 1 cent because I don't have $2 right now. So yeah, open the link in the browser again. This automatically like trying to open it up in a Phantom wallet. So if you have a wallet, it opens up your wallet. So if you're a crypto user, but yeah, I don't have any wallet, so I need to log in with Google now. And I'm logging in with my account, PFO. It's constructing the private key. Got logged in and don't want two-factor for now. I will happily integrate Bunkr, by the way. And yeah, so prove the payment. I don't need to sign anything. It's done. And yeah, we're confirming the transaction. We can look how it looks like on the merchant side. It's done instantly. And payment is successful. Let's see how it works for the client. Payment is successful as well. And we're all done. Also, we want to take maybe a look at SourceScan real quick for all of this. So let's go back to this payment terminal. You see we had just had a payment. So let's go back to SourceScan. We see the fees automatically deducted right now. And this is the payer. And we see the payer has no SOL at all. He just has the USDC that I deposited earlier, so we take care of everything. And we also have like a system for like crypto users. If they want to pay with Solana, that the merchant directly gets USDC. So it's all working on USDC. You can happily talk about the rebag afterwards. And yeah, we want to make a really simple solution for everyone to accept crypto. That's basically the way that we're doing. I think wallets are nice, but it's a barrier for onboarding people. And yeah, we want to make things simple. And here's a bunch of slides for anyone like interested. I can send the slides afterwards for like investors. As we said, very setup, working on ramps and off ramps. I think one point that I want to mention, we built like a decentralized referral system. So anyone that knows any shops and wants to onboard them, you will get real-time revenue share when a payment is made. So that's pretty cool. And as you know, we're like the Stoned Ape crew. So we have like 65,000 followers. We have 70 people from our community that want to run around and sell this. And we actually got the feedback from them that people don't want to have a wallet, so it was quite good. And yeah, we also want to expand into like online payments and other payment schemes. We have a platform called Monet with over 200 communities and signed up, and we service them on that. And basically, a lot of them actually have payments problems, and simply they want to accept Solana and SPL tokens or products. So we will scale into like e-commerce as well, but right now we only want to fix the POS parts. Very simple. And yeah, let's get in touch. I'm PFO_Zach on Twitter, or for anyone, Stoned Ape Crew on Twitter. And anyone that doesn't have a Stoned Ape NFT, you're missing out. You know what's up. So thanks everyone.
So recently I was at my friend's house and we were talking about DeFi. He was presenting me with a new DeFi platform and he was quite convincing. So I ideally wanted to invest immediately in this new platform, but since I was traveling, I didn't really have my laptop with me, and this app only properly worked on the desktop. So my only option here would have been to type in my seed phrase into my friend's computer to make this maybe 1 or 2 transactions. And of course, due to security concerns, I certainly did not do that. But this made me realize that this Solana ecosystem lacks or has a gap when it comes to cross-device interactions. So there is no really sustainable solution to interact, for example, between mobile and desktop. And the only solution that we have is Wallet Connect, but if you have ever used it, it's not really that reliable. And Solana is also not really prioritized because they are, of course, Ethereum first. So what I think is that we should have a Solana-focused, Solana-specialized solution for this problem. And so I set out to develop this. The idea that I came up with is Crosspay. So I will first go through the steps of how this looks like from the user's perspective. So suppose you want to interact remotely with a service. The first thing you do is the service will present you with a QR code that you scan, and through this your public key is transferred to the service. This means the service has an idea already of who you are, because of course it can query the blockchain and it can check your transaction history. You are essentially logged into the system. And after that you interact with it normally. You view things, you check out the options that it has, and eventually you will want to create a transaction, of course, because that's why you're there. And to do that, the service will generate yet another QR code. You scan it again, it goes to your wallet, you sign it, and you finally send it to the network. So coming up with an architecture that leads to this UX was surprisingly difficult, but eventually I did manage to write a proof of concept, and this is how it looks like. So the first step is you have a service that asks you to log in. You scan this QR code, and this pop-up comes up that essentially tells you that you have been successfully logged in. After that, the service will know your public key. So when you look at the top here, it knows, okay, you have this key with HD, QQ, and so on. And now imagine that you are interacting with this in some ways, browsing it or checking out options. And eventually, when you want to transact, it will generate another QR code for you. In this case, it's just a dummy transaction or a small transaction of Sol. And yeah, exactly. You scan this QR code again, and it appears on your wallet, where you can now approve it. And another critical thing is this over here, namely the state of the transaction, because it's quite difficult in this setup to keep track of the transaction, what happens with it. But of course, you want the front end to react to the thing that happens. And this is also implemented, so if you approve this, then after a while, it will show this screen so that it's finalized, and it also knows the transaction. So what are use cases of this? Maybe you have noticed that this feels a lot like a normal wallet adapter, so the primary use case of this would be something like this. So whenever you have a D app, you have the normal candidates that you can choose from, but you can also interact with it remotely. So if it's more comfortable to use QR codes, you can choose to do that. And so for users, this means a lot more convenience, a lot more options. And the reason why developers would implement it is because they would gain a competitive edge over their other competitors, because they would offer something, some more convenience to the user than they are used to. There are other use cases of this. One is to build a self-service station. These are machines where you go to and can place an order. So with Crosspay, this would look like this. You would approach it, scan a QR code, and then it would, for example, set automatically the right language for you. Or it would show you your most frequently used meals so that you can find the one that you want faster. Or it can provide you with special options that are suited to you. Then another one, a little bit farther into the future, I was actually hesitant to even mention this, but imagine 10 years in the future, you're part of a DAO, you're living in a building, and you're also an administrator. So you're walking through a building, people are clashing into you, they want, maybe they want the right to use a certain room. Then usually you would go to your desktop maybe and do that there, but with Crosspay you can do that immediately with the user. Okay, so what's next for this project? So what I really want to do is implement this QR code wallet adapter, because it's the primary use case, and also talk to D apps to onboard some of them so that it's actually available to users. And there's a new spec that is coming out, message signing spec, if for those that are familiar with it, that would make the system safer. And one closing thought, so I think the road to mass adoption is always convenience, because while we in this room maybe not care so much about convenience, the general population does. And so every step in that direction, even if it seems small, is a big step for the ecosystem, because it reduces friction. So I hope that Crosspay will help with that. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey guys, my name is Lucas. I'm one of the co-founders of On-Chain Smokers, the other cannabis project presenting tonight. I think it's actually quite exciting because these solutions seem to be quite complementary, and so I'll talk a little bit. I'll have a little bit of a different angle to it. I don't want to talk too much about any of the technical side of it. I really want to talk about the thing that basically we're all here for, which is adoption. And from what I've experienced with building this project, it's really down to the two things that we always talk about. If anybody has ever read a business book, it's two things that you need to do. Is one, you need to solve a problem. Two, you need to make a difference in people's lives. And what better way to bring people together and bring people on board with real solutions into Web3 than passing a joint into the future. So I'll talk about how we went from 0 to 1,400 plus members, 1,100 of them completely new to Web3, and servicing now soon 10 partner locations in 4 countries. First of all, the problem that presented itself to us or to our partners was during the pandemic. It really was very hard for shops to connect with their communities in any meaningful way. And Web3, of course, gives a great solution there. It's very hard to interact in a meaningful way outside of the shops. And what was also mentioned before, there's always a problem with banks when it comes to cannabis. The idea then became we wanted to create a loyalty program for a small coffee shop in a small city in Holland. Looks like this from the outside. It's called Tourmaline in Tilburg. Great coffee shop if anybody ever goes. But it soon became pretty clear that if it made sense for one shop, it would make sense, or even more sense, to bring together different shops that are independently owned under a larger umbrella. And so we came up with this global membership program, and this is us onboarding at the launch. So I want to talk a little bit about what the vision and goals are, and then how we go about achieving them. The main thing, and this transcends the cannabis industry, and it's really important, I think, that that's true, is we want to change the way that companies interact with their clients. Because Web3 gives a very new, very exciting opportunity to really connect in depth with consumers and create better products in the process. Our goals, in short, bring together the cannabis community through educational programs, through various engaging events, connect businesses with their communities, and introduce a new audience to the benefits of Web3. That sounds cool in theory, but it's not that easy to do. So, how do we do it? We wanted to create a membership program that is firmly based in the 21st century. It's a very old concept, of course, but leveraging blockchain, leveraging Web3, we can do a lot more. So we created an NFT that is basically a token-gated membership for cannabis shops. And this would be one of the partner NFTs. Local partner shops can also have their own community connection through these partner NFTs. These are some of the benefits that come with the OCS membership. And I want to show you what that looks like. I think this is the video, yeah. It's very easy. We just use a very intuitive crypto app. This is the menu. You come in, you select your product, you scan a code to verify your membership. This is not a Solana wallet, I apologize. That's it. It shows the NFT. That's the local NFT. That's the global NFT. Adds up to, in this case, a 10% discount at the shop. And you pay in whatever currency you want. Cash card. We're working on some integrations as well there. PayLeaf paging you. And that's it. As easy as that. Really keeping the threshold extremely low. So it's not that easy. It was mentioned before, creating like seamless solutions isn't easy. What really will drive adoption, I think, are easy to understand use cases that make a difference in day-to-day life for people. Understanding the different customer concerns when it comes to using Web3 and blockchain, that takes time and patience and a well-prepared team. Why did we do it on-chain? Because, yeah, we could have just started a Web2 company, and it would have been pretty similar probably, but we could have never really built everything we wanted to build. And so Web3 allows us a few different things. We can easily verify memberships without collecting personal information, which is very big, of course, in this industry in particular. Full ownership for our holders, developing new products, offer new ways of accepting and storing payments, in the future exploring governance models, connecting local cannabis communities across the world through the metaverse, different things. Can't touch on everything we're doing. And the last thing, I was kind of in jest, of course, but we are working on a few very techy, like POS integrations and other things to really kind of hone in on connecting Web3 with these, day-to-day users. In closing, adoption really comes down to creating use cases. It comes down to knowing what people want, and they don't want dApps. They want dabs in this case. Always coming back to solving a problem, making a difference in people's lives. Thank you.
I feel like it's been a very long day, so let's get the mood up. Maybe shake around. Come on, come on. Okay, right, that was it. So, hi everyone. My name is Zoe. I'm the founder of Crypto Girls Club. Today, I'm very excited to share with you a project that the club has been cooking up on the side. It's our first NFT project, which has never been shown before until now. So, first peek. Okay, so provocative question. Hands up, who here has a woman on their team? Okay, hands up, who here has a man on their team? Oh, it's more, no, it's definitely not. It's, well, I was about to say it's actually fantastic today to see so many pictures have representation. It's really great, for example, HerDAO, the opportunity that they've given as well. So that's really, really cool to see. But we need to look at the stats. What does progress look like to you? What does progress look like to you? In 2023, a study by BCG Group, the results are in, and women only represent 27% of the top Web3 startups and 12% in technical roles. Founding teams, forget it, 7% of founders are women. And we at Crypto Girls Club are aware of the size of the challenge that is faced ahead of us, and we're taking a systematic approach to our goals by providing more leadership opportunities. So a little bit of background knowledge about CGC before we go into the details of our project. We are a fully fledged community for the last 2-3 years. We've hosted around 40 events. We're now a European player in the space. We have hubs in London, Berlin, and Lisbon. And we matchmake talent in Web3, especially diverse talent for new voices, so men and women. So yeah, and also we're the biggest, one of the biggest Web3 communities for women in Germany. So that's a little bit about us. Access denied. Crypto Girls Club will grant you that access. So we, with a curated selection of partners, we want to evolve to become your curated membership into Web3. CGC is designed to give you access. And we, over the last couple of years, have built up quite an impressive partnership base, and it's growing day by day, to build the bridge between women and Web3. Here's a little bit of what we've built we built this during the bull run, now we're in the bear, and we're actually upgrading during the bear market, so we're unstoppable. Part of being part of a fantastic community is the community, and now we want to bring it to another level. So, your identity is precious. Being part of the CGC community is part of who you are, and so are NFTs. When you go to an event, when you connect to someone at our meetups, when you connect with someone on Discord or Telegram, you become a part of that community. Perfect for membership MTs, right? Sorry about the weird meme. So, I present to you the first look at our NFT collection. This better work. No, it's not working. It's only music. Can we do it again? What, the mic? Okay, round 2. I don't have much time left. So, without further ado, a first look at our NFT. Okay, while we're waiting for the music, I want to say that this community has been 100% bootstrapped. We've never ever received a grant or a single cent over the last 2 years. Maybe this will change today. Okay, I'm shipping this. Partner NFT.
Can you see with the lights out in the dark? I'm a star.
Okay, that's your first glance. That's it. Owning a PFP, CGC, or Crypto Girls Club identity, is your access pass for the Web3 ecosystem. We can offer discounts to educational courses through our partners and conferences to Web3, which we already do, but we want to bring this to another level and to much more people. Access to our mentoring and matchmaking program, already in the loop, but then we want to, bring more people on board, more women into that infrastructure. Provide some grants through our partners. Access to think tank retreats. This is particularly new because there's network states that are going around and they want to collaborate with us. NFT holder events and access to co-working spaces. We've just teamed up with a pretty big blockchain infrastructure who's going to give us access to their hubs for the NFT holders. So it's a work in progress, but it's looking pretty fresh. And so much more to be had. I'm just conscious of time. I've got 1 minute. We're also going to be, this was on request by a partner, hey, why don't we get NFTs? So we will give a monolith. So depending if you're in Berlin, if you're in Lisbon, if you're in London, you will get an individualized NFT, which gives you access to work with more women in the space, our community. You can support the ecosystem as a sponsor. We've never really had sponsors, we've just had partners. So this is upgrading our infrastructure as well. And access to long-term partnership, because we don't do short-term games, and also we're not tokenizing, we're not pinkwashing. We're here for the long term. We're here to stay. Women are. Roadmap. I've got 20 seconds, so I'm just going to run through this standard NFT roadmap. We're going to make it. Whack me. How does the infrastructure work? I've got 10 seconds. Oh, I've got a minute. Oh, it's because of the sound thing. It was the sound thing. I've got 8. Okay. So how does the technical infrastructure look like? Well, we're going to be partnering up with Web3 Mint, which is a white label solution. The reason why is because it has absolutely fantastic UX, but also the opportunities we can produce more utility. It deploys the smart contract. We will have our own Web3 branding page. The big USP of this is that you do not need to have a wallet. Our mission is 0 to hackathon, which means we will have women and allies in the space that do not want a wallet. And I think the previous pitch said that this is a USP. This is our USP as well. So yeah, we're going to be on Sol, and also we have to take advantage of the visibility of Magic Eden, so we'll be on the marketplace there as well. The features, membership, oh, I've got 9 seconds. The features, the team, we're all female and we're awesome. That was very quick. Thank you.